court representation, they can help you reach an affordable solution to your problem. Fletcher and Mathewson, attorneys at law, on call at 943-1000.
Mark Allen, Ron Paradis back with you at Levitt Arena. Time now to meet the starters. So let's go over to public address announcer Dave Armstrong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Levitt Arena on the campus of the Wichita State University. Now, let's meet the starting lineups. First of all, the Wildcats of Kansas State. At forward, a 6'5" sophomore from Humboldt, Kansas, number 41, Mark Dobbins. For Wichita State, a 6'8" sophomore from Macon, Georgia, number 20, Steve Grayer. For the Wildcats, a 6'5" sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri, number 34, Lance Simmons. For the Shockers, a 6'7" senior from New York, New York, number 44, Gus Santos. At center for K-State, a 6'7" junior from St. Louis, Missouri, number 32, Charles Bledsoe. For Wichita State, a 6'9" senior from Wichita, number 53, Henry Carr. At guard for the Wildcats, a 6'2" junior from Kansas City, Missouri, number 14, William Scott. For the Shockers, a 6'2" senior from Pratt, number 21, Gary Cundiff. For Kansas State, a 5'11" senior from Memphis, Tennessee, number 11, Lynn Smith. For Wichita State, a 6-foot freshman from Summit, Illinois, number 10, Joe Griffin. The head coach of the Wildcats is Lon Kruger. The head coach of the Shockers, Eddie Fogler.
Thank you, Dave. Nicely done. We'll be back with the opening tip in 1 minute. Keep it right here on the Shocker Sports Channel.
The 1986 Indianapolis 500 champion, Bobby Rahal, winner of the fastest Indy in history. Continuing the winning tradition of Budweiser racing teams, Bobby took the checkered flag to win the Indianapolis 500. Racing fans, this Bud's for you.
Over 100 models that look like new, drive like new, and you can own at super savings. Almost new cars with dependable maintenance history. Feels like the first time and better. Budget Car Sales, Kellogg and Market.
Back at Levitt Arena, set to go. The K-State Wildcats, the visitor tonight, and they're traveling purple with white trim. The Shockers in the home whites. Wichita State comes in with a record of 4-2. The Cats are perfect so far at 6-0. Henry Carr to jump it up against Lance Simmons. The tip controlled by Bledsoe. And the Cats come for the first time tonight offensively. Wichita State will pick up man-to-man. Quickly they turn it over. Gary Cundiff pushes it ahead for the Shockers, and a foul on Will Smith as he attempted to steal it away. First foul on Will Scott, rather. First foul on him.
He's the player we talked about, and getting him in foul trouble would be a real boost to Wichita State's cause. We mentioned what a great shooter he is. K-State is off to their best start since they won 8 in a row in the 79-80 season when they won 22 and lost 9 and lost to Louisville in the Midwest Regional Finals.
Gary Cundiff, that's a three-pointer. And the Shockers lead it early, 3-0. We talked so much about Will Scott's prowess from long range as we get some confetti and toilet paper and this and that thrown out on the court, but Gary Cundiff is not too shabby. That's what I was leading up to.
11 of 17, and he hit his first 5 before missing here a couple of weeks ago, and we are delayed here with some debris being thrown on the floor.
No doubt about it, though. The crowd here is fired up tonight for this one. A sellout crowd. Nice to see Levitt Arena packed to the gills once again. And they are up for this one. 16-footer good for Lance Simmons. First two of the night for the sophomore out of St. Louis, and the Cats are on the board. And they pick up in the backcourt. Oh, a risky pass. Henry Carr got there, though. Santos, baseline pass to Henry. Ball loose, picked up by Will Scott. Now the Wildcats with a chance to take their first lead of the ball game. Kansas State, by the way, playing tonight for only the second time this season, Ron, on the road.
Right. Texas Tech, they won on a last-second shot that missed for Texas Tech in Lubbock.
The Cats a miss. The Shockers push it the other way. Griffin, the baseline drive, finds a wide-open Gary Cundiff three-point attempt. He's 2 for 2.
I thought Will Scott was the guy we were concentrating on with the three-point business. And by the way, Mitch Richmond's another good one for K-State, 12 of 25 from the three-point range. As we mentioned, he's out with sprained wrists.
Richmond suffering that injury very late in the game the other night against Abilene Christian. Tried to break his fall and nearly broke his wrists. But he is not even in uniform tonight, nor is Norris Coleman, of course. Henry Carr, first foul on him down low.
K-State has played without Richmond before in that Texas Tech game. He injured his back, was out for about 5 minutes, and Coach Lon Kruger said K-State actually closed the gap. They were behind a little bit and closed the gap without him, so they've had some experience playing without him, and will get it for a full game tonight. He is not suited out.
As Ron mentioned, K-State won that ball game, 73-72. Again, contact and a foul away from the ball. They've got it down low, I believe, on Bledsoe. That'd be his first foul, and it is.
Bledsoe, a teammate of Richmond at Moberly Junior College. Good look at Eddie Fogler, the 38-year-old first-year head coach with Wichita State.
A couple of young ones tonight. Lon Kruger is only 34. Both former guards on their respective teams. Fogler at North Carolina, Kruger, of course, for the purple and white up in Manhattan. He was a great one. We'll talk more about that as we go along, I'm sure. Working the ball game tonight, Ron Zetcher, Paul Castor, and Bill Pee Wee Summers. A good crew for this one.
Another zone Wichita State's facing here early.
Gus Strong off the glass, kept it alive for himself. That's a lineup change Eddie Fogler actually made at Mississippi State. Santos starting in place of Sasha Radunovic for the second straight time tonight. Shocks unable to convert. Dobbins, cross-court pass. The drive for Scott was hung up in the air, down low. Simmons was blocked. And the foul will be it's on Bledsoe. Well, for a second it was going to be on Henry Carr, but that's 2 on Bledsoe.
Another look at it. Good block here by Carr. Good rejection. They fight for it, and the whistle will go against Charles Bledsoe, and that's a key foul. Ron Meyer, who played here near Wichita at Hayesville High campus, will check in. He's been bothered by an ankle problem. He had a knee that had arthroscopic surgery at the end of last year, an ankle that got it in October. He has played some this year, started, in fact, most of the games, but K-State is real shy from a numbers standpoint, particularly from their forwards and centers, Mark, and now with Bledsoe with 2, Wichita State has moved itself into a pretty good position. They were way early in this game.
There they've got Greer flashing the ball. Took it strong and got it. A lot of pushing and shoving. Oh, and they call a travel on Greer before he got the shot away. No bucket. It remains a 6-2 Shocker lead.
Now, Greer run into a lot of congestion in the lane there and evidently did not keep the pivot foot down. Wichita State, on the basis of a couple of three-point goals by Cundiff, leads it 6-2.
Greer right in Dobbins' face. Shocker still man-to-man. There's Ron Meyer just in the ball game. Tried to dish to Dobbins. They call it an accidental kick. So it'll be K-State ball.
Wichita State very aggressive out of the chute here with their defense, and defense has been the strong suit of the Shockers, with offense trying to find itself inconsistent a good deal of the time, but defense has been very good.
Just to point that up, the Shockers come into the ball game holding their opponents to only 43% field goal shooting on the average over the first 6 games.
Mississippi State got, what, 48 points in Starkville at home.
Meyer open momentarily. Griffin tied him up, and they'll call it jump ball. And it will be Shocker ball on the alternate possession.
Another look at it. Joe Griffin, who's been real pesky as a guard, comes in, ties up the big guy, and Wichita State gets it on the rotation with the 4-point lead.
3-2 zone now for K-State. If you've followed K-State at all over the years, you've seen that before.
Well, Jack Hartman used that to Big 8 Conference Championship success a couple of years.
Oh, nearly went for Gus. The tip no good for Henry Carr, and they call the pushing foul down low. The first on Lynn Smith.
Take another peek at this. Gus almost got the fortunate bounce. It won't quite hang in there. Carr up to give it a tap. And really from there, it looked like Ron Meyer was closer than Smith, but they gave it to the little guy, number 11.
Gary Cundiff now attracting some tighter attention defensively after nailing 2 early in the game from long range. Santos in traffic. Ball loose on the floor, and Dobbins will get there for the Cats. The pass ahead. Got it to Smith. Here's Simmons, no good off the heel. And Steve Grayer claims the defensive board for the Shockers. Wichita State pushes it ahead. Both teams pretty aggressive.
And neither
defensively.
Shooting very well, really, except for Cundiff.
The ball was partially blocked by Ron Meyer.
There's our man again, Carr, along with Santos down there.
And this time on the alternate possession, it will be Wildcat basketball.
Well, these two teams played a great one in '64. Stallworth, Bowman, Pete for WSU going for the Midwest Regional title and a trip to the Final Four. K-State had Willie Morrell, Roger Sutner, and the Wildcats won it in an upset, 94-86, the last time they qualified for the Final Four. Wichita State went the next year.
Scott on the drive. Hits it off the glass. Will Scott, first 2 of the night for him.
But even then, that may be what Wichita State would like. At least they got him to put it on the floor as they throw it away and prevented him from taking that set one-hander from long range. Third turnover against the Shocks in the first 5 minutes of play.
Of course, these two did meet last year up at Ahern Fieldhouse. K-State winning it rather handily, 77-60. So most of these Shocker players played in that particular ball game, so they're looking for some paybacks. And they ruled that Dobbins, I guess, stepped on the baseline?
Stepped out of bounds, and Henry Carr came over to apply pressure on the switch. And there's the foot sliding out of bounds. Turnover against K-State. The Shockers work against the press again.
Joe Griffin confidently waving his teammates down the floor. Cats again in the 3-2 zone.
They're shoving that out on the floor, forcing Wichita State to set their offense up a long ways away. Good block. It is a foul.
Santos blocked again, and it was a foul.
Simmons got it. That'll be a shooting foul. Take another peek here. Lance Simmons has probably been the surprise story of the early season for Kansas State. Didn't play really very well or very effectively last year, but under Lon Kruger, he's found a home at that forward spot. When Norris becomes eligible January 10th, he may be shunted to the bench, but he'll be an excellent reserve if he does leave.
At the line, Gus Santos for the shots, and Gus, a little bit uncharacteristically, has struggled a bit this season from the free throw line. Comes in shooting only 57% from the charity stripe. Got the second one, though, and that has Wichita State off to a 7-4 lead. The timeout with 14:42 remaining to play in the first half. The Cats and the Shocks. Keep it right here on the Shocker Sports Channel.
People who care, sharing and lending a hand, from city to country and all through the land. Proud of who we are, proud of what we've seen, proud to keep America clean.
This tribute is for everyone who helps keep America clean. From the waste professionals at BFI.
We're proud to keep America clean.
Hold up, Festus. We're going to sell some pickups. You know, right now, you don't have to sell the farm to own a brand new Dodge 350 with a full half-ton carrying capacity. Right now, you can own one for just $64.64, cause nobody undersells Davis Moore Dodge. And everybody knows when it comes to selling pickup, we didn't fall off no collared truck. And turnip truck. The best deals just seem to turn up at Davis Moore Dodge.
This bud's for all that you do.
It could be any time now.
No, Bill had to leave. Can I help you?
A friend is counting on you.
Need copies by 4:30.
I'll cover it for him.
Not a word.
You keep on coming through, 'cause you make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This bud's for you.
Mark Allen and Ron Paradis, the old K-Stater himself, welcoming you back to Levitt Arena. Shocks lead it early, 7-4 with 14:42. Remaining to play in the first half. Ron checking some of the other early numbers. The turnover stat, 5 already for Kansas State, 3 for the Shocks. That's a lot, though, 8 already in the game total.
It really is. Wichita State had all kinds of troubles with Fordham's full court press. K-State's using that, and K-State, maybe because of the turnovers, have switched out front. Number 12. You can see him through the maze there. There's a good shot of him. Steve Henson, player of the year in Kansas from McPherson, who played for his dad, has checked into the ballgame for Lynn Smith. Wichita State only 29% from the floor. K-State 2 of 5 for 40%. Another turnover. Is it a foul? Looks like Cundiff will get the foul. But
first foul on Gary Cundiff.
But Wichita State is really applying a lick of defense here in this first 5.5 minutes. And importantly, Charles Bledsoe, Kansas State center, hit with 2 early fouls in the first 3 minutes of this game and out of the ball game.
And again, Mitch Richmond not even in uniform tonight for K-State. Injured a wrist late against Abilene Christian. He is K-State's leading scorer and rebounder. So the Cats really thin tonight along the front line. Will Scott, that's his range. Nice job to follow his shot. The tip is good for Ron Meyer. First 2 of the night for the junior from Wichita, Kansas, the old campus Colt.
Not counted on for much scoring, only 4 points a game, and a nice rebound follow there to cut Wichita State's lead to 1. Now K-State stays in that zone defense. Mark Dobbins at the point and beating Griffin almost at the timeline.
Interesting choice to have Dobbins, I think, working at the point. He's 6'5".
Well, K-State used a 6'7" player out there when they were at their best, when they were challenging for Big 8 championships 8 or 9 years ago.
Really gives that point guard quite an immediate obstacle as he faces the defense. Oh, Joe Griffin, nice interior feed to Santos. Missed it off the heel. Henry Carr working the offensive glass, and the offensive foul is on Henry Carr. That's his second.
So the opposing centers are hit with 2 early fouls, and Henry will have to leave, coming off that great effort in Starkville. Here's another look. Santos again can't get the fortunate bounce. Looks like it's going to fall for him, but doesn't. Henry up to get it. Ooh, I don't know. That's a tough call, particularly here early, and that's his second foul. He'll have to depart.
Sasha Radunovic in the ball game now, replacing Henry. Sasha will match up against Ron Meyer, the 245s going head-to-head. That's Dobbins from 17. He rattled it in. First 2 of the night for the sophomore out of Humboldt, Kansas.
K-State has their first lead. We played almost 7 minutes.
Dobbins comes in, averaging 7 a game. Shockers turn it over again. Simmons, the outlet pass. Oh, and I tell you, Henson just barely got there. No, he didn't. Not quite. It'll be Shocker ball as we get Brent Bass also now in the ball game for Wichita State. He'll go for Griffin.
Hanson's a tremendous track athlete, a decathlete who can jump a mile into the air. I don't know about long jumping. He had to go a long ways off the floor to try to save that one, but he's a tremendous athlete. Henson, for all of his basketball prowess at McPherson, was a track All-American. Also competed in the Junior Olympics. He's that good. Really is looking at the 92 Olympics, perhaps as a decathlon athlete. Oh, Radunovic, a good weak side pass, and he was hammered. The foul will be on K-State, likely on Meyer. Scott was holding up his hand. Well, it's going to be Scott. Yeah. Second foul on Will Scott. So the foul situation is already very interesting and very important. K-State a couple of starters with 2 apiece. Bledsoe on the bench, and Carr, who's been magnificent through most of this season for Wichita State, is on the bench, and particularly so on the road. He's on the bench with 2. Sasha Radunovic, one of Wichita State's very best free throw shooters, comes into the ball game shooting 83% from that distance. Gets them both. First 2 of the night for Sasha. Comes into this ball game averaging nearly 8 points a game. The 2 free throws have the Shocks back in the lead, 9-8. Nice pass. Oh, Dobbins, a great move. Back door, and he got it. And was fouled, and the basket is good. Boy, that's quite a move by Mark Dobbins. A great feed out front from Steve Henson, and that's what he does best. Look at this nice pass through a couple of defenders. Dobbins, good move to the baseline to get the nice layup home. He's the best player from Humboldt since K-State had a couple who did so well back in the 60s. Steve Honeycutt and Earl Seifert on Tex Winter's last Big 8 championship team of 1968.
Lon Kruger and staff welcoming Will Scott back to the bench in the game for the Cats. 43, Percy Eddy, a 6'8 senior out of Milwaukee, as Dobbins completes the three-point play. That'll give him 5 points now. And K-State back in the lead. We've got kind of a seesaw going now. Inside Gus. 3 men around him. He quickly kicked it out.
Percy Eddy, 43 into the game. He has had wrist troubles himself. He's got his right wrist heavily bandaged, as you can see. Saw action for the first time on Thursday against Abilene Christian. Played only 3 minutes.
But made him count. Had 3 points, a couple of block shots. He was active in those 3 minutes.
Traveling on Sasha as he hit the deck. Wichita State's doing a good job of getting it inside, but they haven't had much production out of that effort. 5 turnovers against WSU. K-State by 2.
Well, we said right off the top, we thought it would be a matchup of Wichita State's front line against K-State's backcourt. The Shockers are attacking it along those lines, but the front line has not been very productive to this point. K-State ball, they lead it 11-9 with 11:40 remaining to play in the first half.
As the 45 is getting tangled up, and Ron Meyer will get hit with the foul. Sasha Radunovich, Ron Meyer tangled up there, and it's the K-State version of the 45 that'll get the foul. Here they come into each other. And the purple 45 ends up with his first personal foul. K-State is very shy of depth on that front line, and any foul trouble from that standpoint for K-State could really be a problem. 1-1 already for Wichita State. That'll send Sasha back to the line where he hit 2 a moment ago.
Right, the Shockers were setting up as if to inbound, but that foul on Meyer was already the 7th on K-State with 11:35. So the Shockers go into the bonus very early here in the first half. And Radunovich, as Ron mentioned, right back up there.
He has to be a key for this club. Eddie Fogler said so. Gus is another one. They've got a lot of keys, but Sasha really has to play well for Wichita State to be at their best. As big as he is, as active as he is, as physical as he is, you've got to get production out of him, and frankly, sometimes they haven't. I don't think they did in Starkville, did they? I certainly didn't in West Lafayette.
Sasha got them both. I think he's having just a little bit of trouble adjusting to Fogler's new system, and I think that's why you've got Santos in the lineup now, starting lineup, replacing Sasha, but I don't know, maybe that might take a little pressure off Sasha, and he can now relax and work his way in off the bench.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, he's always adjusting, either to a new program, a new university, new country.
Good move inside. They found Lance Simmons flashing to the basket. He missed the shot, but drew the foul as you look at it again.
Meyer inside, nice feed. They give that to Kosic.
First foul on Tom.
Actually, Tom was just trying to get out of the way, but was in an awkward position and ended up sending Simmons to the free throw line. 14.3 points per game, and he's been a breath of fresh air for this team. Free throws, 84%.
That last foul on Wichita State, by the way, their 5th team foul of the half. So the Wildcats are 2 away from going into the bonus themselves. Simmons got the second one. He now has 3 points on the evening. The Cats again lead at 12-11. Griffin in a heap of trouble. Oh, and I tell you, Steve Henson, talk about quickness.
Well, that Shocker team of 64 that K-State played here had one of the best all-court presses you'll ever see. And Jeff Simons for Kansas State riddled it by going straight up the middle. There's a foul in backcourt, and we'll go back to the Wichita State free throw line. The danger of the press, obviously, from a foul standpoint, K-State can't afford a lot of fouls. And also, you can get some easy shots if handled properly.
Mark Dobbins, a little over-aggressive with the backcourt pressure, collects his first personal foul. Radunovich, from a K-State point of view, not the guy you want up there at the free throw line. He is nearly money in the bank from that range.
5 in a row.
Right, 5 of 5.
He had 13 points against K-State in that lopsided game in Manhattan last year. And by the way, they'll play again in Manhattan only this year, January 12th, but also next year in January.
Sasha finally missed one. Ball batted around. They get the foul on Kosic, I believe, as we get Santos back in replacing Grayer.
Right, Tom will pick up his second as he gets tangled up in there and trying to keep that ball alive. Picks up his second foul. You see Tom in a tangle here with a couple of K-Staters and goes over the back of Mark Dobbins.
And that is now team foul number 6 on the Shockers. So one more will put K-State in the bonus. Dobbins dumps it inside. Lance Simmons turns and traveled before he let it go.
Shuffled the feet. K-State another turnover. That's their 7th of the evening. They haven't quite played 9 minutes. Somebody could take charge here with some good solid basketball, because neither team shooting well and turning it over pretty well to him. There's been too many fouls. K-State still in that zone defense, and now it's Percy Eddy at 6'7" out front. And the point.
Shockers with an all-freshman backcourt right now. Griffin and Brett Bass. The only 2 freshmen on the ball club, and they're in there right now.
With that zone, a 1-2-2, the middle should be the weak area. Wichita State has an advantage there, with the Cars on the bench.
Santos, left baseline. Radunovic working the offensive glass, drew the foul. They've got it on Percy Eddy.
I think it's Henson. Number 12 is who they pointed to.
All right.
Another look at it here. Sasha doing a good job. Coming up strong with the ball, and Henson reaching in with that right hand.
Oh, yeah.
Clips him and will send another Shocker to the foul line.
Henry Carr, by the way, back in the ball game, replacing Gus.
Gus had a good game, one of the few that did in Manhattan last year. He had 18 points. Sasha had 13.
I'll tell you who had the ball game. Mr. Joe Wright.
Oh, my goodness. 31 points, career high, 12 of 14.
12 of 13 from the field. He was unconscious as Radunovic misses again. Will Scott, I believe, played at the same JUCO that produced Joe Wright. Isn't that right? State Fair? That's right. Sasha got the second one. That now has him at 6 points and has the Shockers edged back in front, 13-12. 10-10 remaining to play first half.
Well, Kosic just got his 3rd personal foul.
Tom just really hasn't been in the flow, as he has picked up 3 quick fouls.
Now he jumps out on Lance Simmons. And reaches in. But I'll tell you, that's a little ticky. Still a foul. Scott will come back despite his 2 first half fouls. Good look at Tom Kosic. Sitting down, he had a career high in the Shocker shootout with 6 points. And Bledsoe will come back. A little bit unusual here. Despite the 2 fouls, K-State center will check back in.
At the line, though, once again, one of the bonus. K-State in the bonus now. It's Lance Simmons, the 6'5" sophomore out of St. Louis. Will earn the bonus. That'll give him 4 points now.
Series, K-State has won 8, Wichita State 5 here in Wichita. K-State has won 1 of 4. That's here at Levitt in Wichita altogether, 5 of 12.
Lance Simmons now with 5 points. Griffin on the break lost the ball in traffic. Now he'll try to D it up on Henson. Steve Henson, the pass ahead to Will Scott to Simmons. Santos right on him. Bledsoe just back in, will pop from 10 and get it. First 2 of the night for the junior out of St. Louis. Charles Bledsoe, the honorable mention JUCO All-American a year ago.
Excellent shot. He was really hounded out front and still nailed it. K-State with their biggest lead, 16-13. Wichita State led by 4 early.
Inside, Sasha got the ball in great shooting position and knocked it down. That's 8 for Radunovic.
Wichita State has the advantage on that front line. They just have to punch it in there. Nice pass.
Was a good dish, a little too good. Lance Simmons had to go right through his hands. Simmons again in traffic, 3 men around him, decides to pop anyway, missed, and Joe Griffin snared the loose one for the shots. Out to Gary Cundiff, who's back in the ball game. Shockers with a big front line in there right now. Carr, Radunovic, and Santos. They got some real beat as Radunovic was blocked on that shot.
Good defense again. Wichita State attacking the middle where the weakness is, but still not getting the numbers out of that area that they're hoping to get.
Henry Carr nearly knocked it away from Persietti. Oh, they called a foul down low. Gary Cundiff.
It'll be Gary's second. Foul starting to mount up here. Bledsoe baseline. He runs into Cundiff. And the official goes K-State's way, much to the chagrin of the Shockers hopeful and Coach Eddie Fogler and, of course, Gary Cundiff. Here's that foul situation, Mark. Cundiff with 2. Carr's on the Wichita bench with 2. Kosic's there as well with 3.
Bledsoe, that Carr in the game.
Carr's back in, yeah, I'm sorry. And Scott and Bledsoe playing for K-State with 2 apiece.
Lynn Smith back in the ball game for the Cats, replacing Persietti. Bledsoe missed the first free throw. They'll try to get the second one here. The crowd down on this end still very unhappy with that last foul call. Sure you can hear them. Bledsoe now with 3 points, and it'll be Shocker ball when we return. Got a good one here at Levitt Arena. The roundhouse is packed. A lot of basketball still to go. 8:17 remaining to play first half. The Cats lead it 17-15.
Diamonds of quality born of the earth, cut and faceted by artisans, are rare indeed, as are jewelers with the skills and artistry to set these magnificent stones creatively. Jerry Burnell is such a jeweler. From the breathtaking elegance of a solitaire to a dazzling pendant, Burnell's creative gold and precious stones offers a truly unique combination of originality and affordability. For jewelry of distinction, from a jeweler of integrity, Burnell's, 550 North Rock Road.
For as long as you can remember, she's wanted a fur. And this Christmas, you've decided the time is right to get her one. But not just any fur. A fur coat or jacket from Grag Furs. A fur that will show her how much you love her. A fur that will thrill her like no other gift. This year, say Merry Christmas, darling, with a gift she's always wanted and deserved. A fabulous fur from Grag Furs.
At Quality Chevrolet, someone trades and saves every 39 minutes. And talk about trucks, Quality Chevrolet is your 4x4 headquarters, featuring the tough new S10s and S10 Blazers. When it comes to service, Quality Chevrolet's service department is second to none. They offer quality GM parts and Mr. Good Wrench service to keep your Chevrolet all GM. For a new Chevrolet car or truck and the best service after the sale, remember Quality Chevrolet, 1520 East Douglas, where someone trades and saves every 39 minutes.
8 minutes and 17 seconds. The time remaining to play here in the first half. The K-State Wildcats leading the Wichita State Shockers 17-15. This one beginning to heat up a little bit, Ron, as far as the emotion on the floor and certainly in the stands. And field goal wise, both teams with a little work to do, particularly the Shocks. Not a lot of field goal attempts actually in the game so far.
12 for each, and K-State has made twice as many. State has had 8 points from Sasha, only 1 field goal though, another 6 from Cundiff. He got those very early. Only 1 other point from any other Shocker. Santos has the other 1.
The other numbers, K-State has the early rebound edge, unofficially 8-6. 7 turnovers for Kansas State to 6 for the Wichita State Shockers. Shocker ball as we return to action. Gary Cundiff matching up with Steve Henson.
Wichita State with 10 free throw attempts already. K-State with 7. Now K-State has gone to a man-to-man defense out front and all the rest of the places as well.
Santos. They got it to Gus inside. He is tough when he gets the ball down low. That's 3 for Gus.
Still think Wichita State is attacking the right way offensively. They just need to find the hole and quit turning it over.
Nice move by Bledsoe, and then he let go at the air ball. Boy, got himself in a great shooting position. We're tied at 17. Henry Carr powers inside and got it off the glass. First 2 of the night for Henry Carr, Wichita State's leading scorer and rebounder.
The Shocks go back in front, 19-17.
Henson in and out. Bledsoe working hard, and it'll be Shocker ball as Bledsoe couldn't get there.
Good effort by the 6'7 junior college transfer, but it trickles off his fingertips, and Wichita State on a roll now, working to the big guys.
Wichita State Navy is going to try to do here is, well, not that certainly, as Bledsoe stepped in and read the pass beautifully. Smith might have walked and did. A good call by Ron Zetcher as when he received the ball, he just didn't handle it properly and took a step.
Another turnover against Kansas State. That'll be their 8th. And out on the open floor, you don't expect that, or certainly don't want it from your little point guard.
Of course, the Shockers also turned it over last time they brought the ball at the floor, so they'll try to at least get into the offense this time. What I was starting to say is, what I think they might try to do is get the ball inside, but to a player on the move, not stand around so much and wait for the ball. If you can attack inside, you want to do it while you're moving. Oh, Greer, heck of a move, and got it.
Now the front line heating up now. Their last 3 baskets have come from their forwards or centers, and the Shockers now with 6 in a row have taken a 4-point lead.
It's come with the Shockers being more active along the front line. That's kind of what's making it happen.
Fans starting to get into it too. Scott,
3-point attempt short. Oh, just like the good old days at Levitt Arena. It's loud in here. That sounds good.
Cedric Coleman into the ballgame, number 11 for Wichita State. He hasn't played much.
Greer nearly lost it and then made a bad pass. Stolen away by Lance Simmons. The Shocks have now turned it over
8 times.
Inside, there's Simmons again, fading away, hit it sweet. 7 points for Lance Simmons. Came into the ball game averaging 14 a game. Ron mentioned he began to come on a little bit after last season, but he has been a very pleasant surprise for Lon Kruger. That's a foul on Gus Santos, and he can't quite believe it. First one on Gus. Positioning inside.
And there's some changes made now. Coleman is coming out. Griffin back in, and K-State has brought Ron Meyer back in along with Percy Eddy. Good look at Cedric Coleman, and there's Steve Greer for Wichita State. At the free throw line for K-State will be a good shooter from the 15-foot line, Will Scott.
Or further.
Yeah, almost any place on the floor, 77% from here.
Well, wouldn't you know? Oh, nice follow, though. And a stop is good for Lance Simmons as he came, Percy Eddy, as he came weak side and buried it.
That's real poor blocks out defense by K-State. First, the little guy Henson got there, and then Eddy with the slam off a missed free throw. That's almost inexcusable.
Henry Carr in the air, dished it over to Greer, short on the shot. Steve followed his shot, though, and got it. 4 points, Steve Greer, the sophomore out of Macon, Georgia, as we'll get Dobbins and Radunovich back in the ball game for their respective teams.
Henry Carr will leave with the 2 points. Did not pick up that critical 3rd foul here in the first half. And neither is Bledsoe. Bledsoe on the K-State bench.
Kind of a quiet first half, though, for Henry. Henson took it inside, dished it back out. Now Smith will reset the K-State offense as Radunovich came around and fouled Ron Meyer as he went for the ball.
Got a makeup call. The 45s tangled up earlier. That one went against Meyer, the K-State Wildcat. Now Sasha will be tagged with his first personal foul. And K-State's 45, Meyer to the free throw line.
Eddie Fogler pacing the Shocker bench, now taking a seat once again. And now things are really getting heated out on the floor. It's okay to be intense and everything, but you don't want this. Ron Zetcher stepping in, trying to send the 2 teams to their respective benches until cooler heads can prevail here.
Oh, what happened? They were lining up for the free throw. There was no real play taking place.
Eddie Fogler, I think, is out there right now on the floor asking his players what happened.
Something must have been said, or in simply lining up on the free throw line.
You know how guys can get when you're lining up. Somebody tries to stake their claim as far as territory on the floor, and one thing could lead to another.
Well, K-State's at their area to talk with head coach Lon Kruger and company. Wichita State now gathers with Eddie Fogler. I don't believe we've had an official time. If it broke him up to get him to settle down a little bit.
Good decision there, I think, on Ron Zetcher's part. He stepped in, and rather than overreacting, he simply just sent the 2 teams to their respective benches, give them a chance to cool off. And looks like we've got an official timeout, if nothing else. So an opportunity here for Eddie Fogler and Lon Kruger to have something to say to their 2 ball clubs.
Oh, we don't want fights to take place, but you can sure feel a different intensity in Henry Lemon Arena tonight than we've had in the past. These two teams are ready to play, and this crowd's up for it. This is the first sellout, by the way, since Xavier McDaniel's finishing up his 3 games, leading the nation in scoring and rebounding, and at halftime, a very special celebration ceremony.
Right, one of the great names in Shocker basketball history, Cleo Littleton, will have his jersey retired.
Ron Fogler is interested in who got hit with that timeout, or if indeed it was a timeout.
Well, Eddie Fogler looked over here and said, was it a TV timeout? And I shook my head no, because it was not. Now, here comes Ron Zetrick. We did not take a timeout, right? No, we did not. Okay, so are we going to take one at 5 minutes, they're asking? Okay, so there will be a TV timeout.
Do you normally interview the official during the course of the game, Mark?
Well, we've already interviewed Eddie Fogler on the air at the end of the Fordham game. Why not?
I got some friends that I brought along. We'll work them in a little
I'll
later.
get them down here in the second half. We'll talk to them.
I didn't know how big you were here in Wichita.
Ron Meyer, a little bigger than I am, hits the free throw. He now has 3 points.
As a junior, he averaged 43 points a game in the Wichita South tournament, averaged 26 for the year.
Meyer got them both. And K-State trapping in the backcourt. Griffin gets into an open Radunovic, who's looking for Joe Griffin, and the Shockers successfully break the press. Good pass inside to Gus, a little too hot to handle, kicked it back out. 4:45 remaining to play first half. Radunovic ball faking, turns strong off the glass, and they rule it last touched by Santos. It'll be Wildcat ball, and now we'll get the TV timeout, so we'll take it. 4:38 remaining to play in the half. Our score all tied at 23. Good ball game. Back in a minute. You're watching the Shocker Sports Channel.
The 1987 Honda you've been waiting for is waiting for you at Schofield Honda. Come in and test drive the most advanced Hondas ever. And now, just in time for holiday gift giving, Schofield Honda will give you a $500 Dillard's gift certificate when you buy a new Honda or a used car by December 24th. Now's the time to buy the Honda you've always wanted. This holiday season, travel in style. Travel in a Honda from Schofield Honda. Schofield Honda, 7017 East Kellogg.
When you almost hate to drive your new car out of the driveway, it's time to review your car insurance. Come to Farm Bureau Insurance. Because in the city or the country, with over 400 agents and over 70 full-time claims adjusters just in the state of Kansas, we can make a difference and maybe save you some money.
I'd add farm car there.
Sure.
Thanks.
Even if you have teenage drivers. Remember the name, Farm Bureau Insurance. City or country, we've got Kansas covered.
Diamonds of quality born of the earth, cut and faceted by artisans, are rare indeed, as are jewelers with the skills and artistry to set these magnificent stones creatively. Jerry Burnell is such a jeweler. From the breathtaking elegance of a solitaire to a dazzling pendant, Burnell's creative gold and precious stones offers a truly unique combination of originality and affordability. For jewelry of distinction, from a jeweler of integrity, Burnell's, 550 North Rock Road.
Mark Allen and Ron Paradis welcoming you back to a sold-out Levitt Arena. 4:38 the time remaining here in the first half. All even at 23, and the stats would indicate it's that close a ball game. Wichita State shooting 39% from the field to 44% for K-State. The free throws exactly the same, 7 of 10 for each team. K-State with a narrow 11-10 rebound advantage. The Shocks with 9 turnovers to 8 for the Cats.
Three-point scoring, not much of a factor yet. Condit hit 2, the only 2 taken by Wichita State. K-State's missed 2. That may be a little bit of a surprise given their success ratio with Will Scott in particular, but he's on the Wildcat bench.
K-State ball, as Ron mentioned before the game. There they found Dobbins on the baseline, who used good timing, waited for the good shot, and then missed it. Tom Kosic back in the game, has a rebound for the Shocks. Inside, Santos draws plenty of traffic and got it off the glass. 5 points for Gus.
Again, the pass inside, setting it up. Wichita State has a considerable advantage there and should play to it.
Dobbins outside, looking inside. There he finds Ron Meyer, double team. Ball loose on the floor. They dive for it. Gary Cundiff got it to Ron Meyer accidentally. Percy Eddy, and they got him for the offensive foul. First foul on Percy Eddy. Oh, they're letting them play a little bit.
Here's a great sequence, Mark, of hard nose. Actually, we picked it up a little bit late. We'll get the charge here, but prior to that, we had half the team on the floor diving, picking up floor burns, going for the basketball. That's great college effort. Yeah, that's great effort. College, pro, high school, junior high. Here's Scott back in, number 14. Lynn Smith will leave. Wichita State with a 2-point lead. Their biggest lead has been 4, 21-17 and 6-2. K-State had a 3-point lead at one time. And Lance Simmons will check back in for the Wildcats.
Shockers preparing to inbound here. That's Santos into Joe Griffin, who quickly attracts Steve Henson.
K-State back to that zone with Simmons out front. Point.
They go inside to Radunovic. Dribbled through the baseline and came out. Oh, Greer that time hung on a little too long. That'll be over and back. Gary Cundiff claims he got it away before he landed in the backcourt.
I'll take another peek. Here's the pass getting away. See if Gary does get it. He's got a point. It won't make any difference. K-State on the turnover.
Henson outside. His second miss from that same spot. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Joe Griffin pushing it ahead. Greer. Bounce pass inside. Radunovic. Oh, swatted out of there by Percy Eddy.
Nice save by Greer.
Now Joe Griffin. The Shockers still with the ball. They pound it inside to Radunovic. Knocked out of bounds by K-State. I tell you, for a rivalry that wasn't much of a rivalry to begin with, it's going to be more of one when this one's over.
Yeah, let's keep this going. Lou Perkins, Larry Travis.
Shockers misfire on the inbound. They turned it over for the 11th time. Will Scott got buried underneath, kicked it out to Henson, who missed. Well, that was a good break opportunity, and K-State couldn't cash it. Shocker ball. They lead it by 2. 2:30 to go, first half. Greer, great pass inside Radunovic. It's got to take that thing stronger. He drew the foul, but that should have been an easy 2.
You're talking slam dunk time. Wichita State is not taking advantage of their inside advantage. Here's another look, though. I'll tell you, K-State's as scrappy as you'll get inside. There's not much head height. First, Simmons blocks it away. Sasha ends up with it again. Here comes Eddy again. And the foul will send Sasha to the free throw line. Much tougher to make 2 from there than slamming it home.
Second foul on Percy Eddy as we get Lynn Smith back in the ball game for the Cats, replacing Will Scott. Also, Mark Dobbins checks back into the ball game. And it's Percy Eddy checking out. Radunovic now at the line will get 2 free throws. Tries to get the 2 he should have had from close range.
So they've missed half of their opportunity already. Henry Carr's absence, a big focal point here. He might have made a real difference in this first half. Has only 2 points and a lot of bench time because of foul trouble. And particularly so with Bledsoe having the same problem for Kansas State. K-State much shorter on that bench, though.
Sasha got the second one. That'll give him 6 points. I'm sorry, 9 points. Cedric Coleman back in the ball game for the Shockers. Time winding down in the first half. Simmons on the block, double team, shot it anyway, short. Followed his shot nicely and got it. That's Simmons, 9 points.
Really stayed with it after missing the first shot. Hit a tough second shot to give K-State marching back to 1 again. Wichita State by 1 at 26-25.
Inside 2 minutes now to play in the first half. Cedric Coleman. Shockers moving the ball on the perimeter, but always looking inside, looking to pound the ball either to Radunovic, Greer, or Santos. Instead, it'll be Coleman right baseline. Hello, Cedric Coleman. First 2 of the night. The junior out of Columbia, South Carolina. It's his first field goal of the season. that ball was nearly loose. Henson's missed a couple, but nailed that one. Just a two-pointer, they call it. Steve Henson, the freshman out of McPherson, great athlete. Big two there to get the Shocker pass quieted. Gus will go to the line for two. That time I think he hesitated, trying to draw the foul. Maybe.
Here's a great pass from Sasha inside again. Wichita State will have to go to the line to earn them here, but there's a good three-point opportunity if you can nail that little shot inside.
Second foul on Lance Simmons. Interesting play, though, by Gus. When he first received the ball, if he'd have gone immediately, it looked like an easy two, but the experience there, he head fake, ball fake, tried to draw the three-point play. Instead, he's got two free throws out of it. And rolls in the first one. That's 6 for Gus, the senior out of New York City, New York.
Well, one thing, the Wichita State's not quite handling it in the middle like maybe they'd hoped. They are piling up fouls on this K-State front line. Simmons will leave with his two. Persietti back in with a couple.
Second free throw coming for Gus Santos. Rattled it in. That's 7 for Gus. Leaves him now 25 points shy of the 1,000-point mark for his career. Inside a minute now. Shockers really trying to D it up here in the closing moments. Dobbins drained it. They left him open. He made him pay. 7 for the sophomore from Humboldt. The Shocker lead cut to 1. The shot clock is off now.
Eddie Poger with one finger in the air. We would guess that would mean the final shot of the half.
That way, even if you miss it, you still take a lead into the locker room. But a lot of time here. Shockers will need to play smart and hang on to the ball. Time remaining in the half. Right at 15 seconds right now.
Going to make a real strong move in about 3 or 4 seconds.
All right, inside 10 now. Here's where they'll go. Inside, it's Gus. Fouled, stopping the clock with 6 seconds. They're ready to play in the first half.
Maybe just as importantly, Persietti will get socked with his 3rd foul here for K-State as he reaches in. Santos back to the free throw line. Wichita State shot a bundle last week here at Henry Levitt Arena when they played Fordham. Close to 40 free throws, I think they made.
Well, they went 40 of 59 in that game. Incredibly.
Yeah, they're going to have to hustle to get that far, but most of their points have come from the free throw line.
So now Santos. Strong all the way in the front end of that 1-and-1, and K-State now with an opportunity. 2 seconds. 1. It'll go if it counts. I should say it would have counted had it gone. It did not, and it's halftime. And a sellout crowd on their feet here at Levitt Arena to applaud these two teams off the floor. It's been a good one. More of the same coming up. Our halftime score, Wichita State 30, Kansas State 29. We'll be back to talk it over. We'll also pick up the ceremony retiring Cleo Littleton's number 13. We'll do it right after this on the Shocker Sports Channel.
Once, BMW, Saab, and Audi challenged the establishment. Now they are the establishment, and they face a challenge. Merkur XR4 TI from Germany. XR4 TI, the sports sedan from Lincoln Mercury that isn't afraid of a little competition.
See the Merkur at Schofield Lincoln Mercury today.
This Bud's for all that you do.
They said this city was through. You said, no way.
Each day the spirit's growing. Your pride is really showing. You make America work, and this Bud's for you.
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
Ho, ho, ho! I'm here to announce the biggest gift any Kansas guitar bass player ever received. The guitar stand at Harry and Rock Road in Wichita is open just in time for Christmas with everything at grand opening sale prices. At the guitar stand, they'll help you select the right guitar, teach you how to play, and even repair it when it's broken. It's brand new. And for you, the bass or guitar player, the guitar stand, Harry and Rock Road, 687-3349.
Diamonds of quality born of the earth, cut and faceted by artisans, are rare indeed, as are jewelers with the skills and artistry to set these magnificent stones creatively. Jerry Burnell is such a jeweler. From the breathtaking elegance of a solitaire to a dazzling pendant, Burnell's creative gold and precious stones offers a truly unique combination of originality and affordability. For jewelry of distinction, from a jeweler of integrity, Burnell's, 550 North Rock Road.
Mark Allen and Ron Paradis welcoming you back to Levitt Arena. Quite a college basketball game. The Shockers lead it at the half over the visiting K-State Wildcats, 30-29. And Ron, I think maybe you said it best as the first half wrapped up. This is more like it. This is some serious college basketball here tonight.
Oh, yeah, you can feel it. This is where a basketball junkie would love to be. Never more than 4 points separating these two teams in the first half. Both started shooting very poorly. K-State got it up to 50%. We'll check the official scoring and shooting a little later, but nice first half. A lot of intensity, a near fight. Both teams feeling it real good, and a lot of coaching.
A lot to talk about. First of all, let's go back to where we started as far as the expected matchup between the K-State backcourt and the Wichita State front line. K-State's backcourt, well, let's pick up some Wichita State action here, but Wichita State finally began to get some production as the half went along from their front line, but it wasn't that way early.
No, they had a lot of trouble handling the ball, then finally got it inside through the first about 15 minutes of the game. They had 1 point from their starters on the front line, and then got it going. Thank goodness for Wichita State's standpoint, they've made some free throws. Sasha's did a good job at the line. Gus Santos finished strong at the end of the first half to pick up 7 points, and Cundiff got him started with 2 long-range field goals. Wichita State still trying to work the advantage, but without Henry Carr through most of that first half, and that hurt their cause.
Right, now, Henry Carr, coming off a career-high 22, really hasn't been a factor in the first half because of his foul trouble. Another guy who really hasn't stepped forward so far is Will Scott for Kansas State. He had 23 the other night against Abilene Christian. Only 2 points for him at halftime.
Well, like a lot of other K-Staters saddled by foul problems in the first half, Scott picked up a couple, went to the bench, but more than that, I think Gary Cundiff got in his face and stayed with him. Not only did he not make any three-point field goals, he really only had one opportunity. K-State, as we mentioned at the top, shooting the eyes out from three-point range, not even getting chances tonight. Wichita State's played a really aggressive, effective defense in the first half.
Well, so has K-State. I've been impressed with the way Lon Kruger has mixed his defenses, and we'll talk more about that. But right now, we need to go to the special halftime ceremony. A year ago, they retired Antoine Carr, Cliff Livingston, and Xavier McDaniels, or I'm sorry, not Cliff Livingston, but Dave Stallworth and Xavier McDaniels' uniform numbers. They're going to add a 4th one tonight, the number 13 of Cleo Littleton. Let's pick it up with Dave Armstrong.
Providing the funding to allow the athletic department to honor another Shocker great by retiring his jersey. Now presenting Mr. Perkins with a check for the cost of the display is BFI Vice President and District Manager Tom Miller. Thank you, Tom. Ladies and gentlemen, Cleo Littleton was Wichita State's first star of the modern era of Shocker basketball. He was a tremendous player who still holds the school scoring record with 2,164 points scored from 1951 to 1955. Mr. Littleton also holds Shocker career records for most free throws made, most free throws attempted, and most field goals attempted. Cleo was also a great rebounder and had 878 in his career, which ranks 6th on the Shocker all-time list. Perhaps most impressively, Cleo Littleton was a tremendously consistent player throughout his career, averaging over 18 points a game his first 3 years and over 21 points a game his senior campaign. Now, those impressive numbers were good enough to make him the only Shocker player ever to earn all Missouri Valley Conference honors for 4 consecutive seasons. Cleo was a first-team selection after his freshman year in 1952 and capped a brilliant career by being named a second-team All-American in 1955. Athletic Director Lou Perkins will now present Cleo with the plaque commemorating tonight's ceremony. The plaque reads, "In honor of the outstanding playing career of Cleo Littleton as a basketball student-athlete from 1951 to 1955, jersey number 13 has today been officially retired. Ladies and gentlemen, as you notice the new retired jersey displayed over Section O, let's join us in expressing our appreciation to Cleo Littleton. Yeah, right. And now it's time for the Wichita State Spirit Squad.
Well, there it is, and deservedly so. The number 13 of Cleo Littleton now joining Antoine Carr's 35, Xavier McDaniel's 34, and Dave Stallworth's 42. Never to be worn again. Quite a night for Cleo Littleton, and quite a basketball game. We'll be back with halftime stats in the second half. Stick around here on the Shocker Sports Channel.
Since I started listening to the KICT 95 Breakfast Club, I have regularly caught these 10-pound bass.
I built this scale model of the Queen Mary. I became a Breakfast Club listener and learned to play the violin in 3 hours.
I've learned to operate heavy equipment.
The Breakfast Club, mornings on KICT 95. It's good for you.
My golf score improved.
Where else can you get a new 1987 loaded Chevrolet Caprice for just $270 a month? A new 87 Cavalier for $170 a month? And 1987 full-size Chevy pickups with air from $205 a month? Even S10 pickups from $175 a month. Sound incredible? No. It's happening right now at Don Hatton Chevrolet. We make it easy with our new leasing program on over 70 new 87 cars and trucks, plus a free ski trip to Silver Creek, Colorado for the first 20 leases. See us now for the payments you want at Don Hatton Chevrolet.
Like many before, you came here asking for just one thing.
Sadowski. Shavoski.
A chance.
Pronounced Shavoski. You're gonna make it here, 'cause you make America work, and this fight's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste
Hey, Sid.
that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
Midwest TV and Appliances store full of bargains.
On top quality brand names.
Like this super capacity Whirlpool washer.
On sale at Midwest TV and Appliance for just $277.
Or this all fabric Whirlpool dryer.
This week on sale for only $257.
Or how about a Whirlpool 22 cubic foot deluxe refrigerator with a free ice maker?
On sale now for just $7.99.
And if you have a current Ward's, Penny's, or Sears credit card,
then you've got credit at Midwest TV and Appliance.
We're one of America's fastest growing companies.
Because at Midwest TV and Appliance, what we do best every day
is save you money.
The Wichita State University has a distinguished faculty, 71% of whom have PhDs or appropriate terminal degrees. It's a faculty of truly outstanding scholars who also contribute to their students and their community in extraordinary ways. There's Dr. Rosalind Scudder, a professor in WSU's College of Education who serves as mayor of the city of Newton. Dr. William Wentz and Dr. Glenn Zumwalt teach aeronautical engineering and are active in research for NASA. In his political science class, Dr. Mel Kahn teaches political science by being Plato. Sociology teacher Bernice Hutcherson has won honors for her outstanding community service. There's Dr. Bruce Cutler, a widely published poet who has been a visiting professor to numerous Latin American and European countries. Dr. William Groudis has received grants to pursue his research into a cure for emphysema. And Dr. Kara Connick brings to her classes in women's studies her experiences as a participant in the International Women's Decade Conference in Kenya. Betty Welsbacher teaches educators how to use music to teach aphasic and other special children. Dr. Glenn Fisher, an expert in taxation and public administration, has published more than 60 books and articles. Dr. Gerald Graham publishes a weekly column on management techniques. The Wichita State University's faculty contributes to scholarship, students, and the community. At WSU, our faculty makes the difference.
Back at Levitt Arena, awaiting the arrival of the two teams out of the locker rooms. That's our halftime score. The Shockers lead the Cats 30-29. We've got the halftime stats set to go. And Ron, as we look at those, the field goal numbers nearly dead even percentage-wise.
Really, the difference in all this a couple of three-pointers by Gary Cundiff. The margin of difference, both teams shooting about 42%. Wichita State making 3 more free throws, getting 5 more opportunities. The rebounds are very close, 16-11. Interesting, we've accented the front line production. K-State has 25 points from their forwards and centers, 5 more than Wichita State in the backcourt, where you think Will Scott, because of his 18 points per game average, will give them an advantage. We'll take a look at the individual scoring in a moment. But Wichita State has the numbers there 10-4. Now for a peek at those individual scoring honors. Radunovich with 9, Santos 7, Cundiff with 6, and as mentioned, Gary with the 2 3-point field goals very early, the first 2 baskets that Wichita State scored. And here's the front line: Simmons, Dobbins, and Meyer for Kansas State, leading them in scoring. Will Scott, the 3-point expert, only 2 first-half points, and the other starter for K-State, who doesn't score much anyway up front, Lynn Smith, has yet to score. Steve Henson came off the bench to get 2. There's the backcourt scoring. Wichita State in the flip-flop affair here. Isn't Wichita State supposed to have trouble in the backcourt, at least from a scoring standpoint? And K-State, with the weaker numbers up the front line, that shows you what we know. But more importantly, what happens in a basketball game? There's the front line scoring. K-State by 5, trailing by 1 overall. Very interesting.
It really is. You see the Shockers coming out of their locker room now and heading back onto the floor, and that's the greeting as they are now back on the floor here at Levitt Arena. Interesting the way it's worked out. We'll talk more about it, but right now we need to go to a break. Second half action just a couple minutes away. You see the Cats returning. That's our halftime score. Second half still to come here on the Shocker Sports Channel.
During Kellogg Buck's Happy Holiday Sale, all our gift items are specially priced, like ceramic and porcelain figurines, hand-cut leaded crystal, and solid brass accessories as low as $10. We have some of the finest gifts for your Christmas giving, like recliners from Lazy Boy or Flex Steel, solid wood curio cabinets, lamps, wall painting, grandfather clocks by Howard Miller, and Riverside desks. And choose from the state's largest selection of Lane cedar chests during Kellogg Buck's Happy Holiday Sale.
Kellogg and Woodlawn at 924 West Douglas.
Bud Thunder. It's revved up and coming at you.
Right to get her one, but not just any fur. A fur coat or jacket from Grag Furs, a fur that will show her how much you love her, a fur that will thrill her like no other gift. This year, say Merry Christmas, darling, with a gift she's always wanted and deserved, a fabulous fur from Grag Furs.
Over 100 models that look like new, drive like new, and you can own at super savings. Almost new cars with dependable maintenance history. Feels like the first time and better. Budget car sales, Kellogg and Market.
Back at Levitt Arena, Willie the Wildcat giving our baseline cameraman Bill Hernandez the assist here. Let's see if they can make the transfer. Willie's got it going. Is Bill going to try it? Well, sort of. Save the camera, Bill. We're going to need it. Good to have Willie the Wildcat and all the Wildcat faithful down here at Levitt Arena. This is the way it should be.
A lot of intensity here and a lot of good, solid basketball in the first half. We have a discrepancy that we're trying to take care of with regards to the personal fouls in the first half. Joe Griffin on the official scores list has 2 personal fouls. Cundiff has none. We're sure, absolutely sure, that should be reversed. Cundiff with 2 and Griffin with none.
Right, they made that change. Our stat man Bill Manus brought that to the scorer's attention, and they have now corrected that situation. So we're set to go with all the bookkeeping taken care of. It's going to be Kansas State basketball, I believe, as we begin play here in the second half. There's some of the... Yes, you're on. Well, it's going to be Shocker ball as we begin play here in the second half. Greer inbounding to Joe Griffin. Here we go.
And K-State with that 3-2 zone defense again. Dobbins out front.
Eddie Fogler going with his original starting 5 to begin play here in the second half. Henry Carr. 4 points for him. Oh, do they wave it off? And they've got the offensive foul. No, they're going to count it. They're going to count it, but the foul is on Carr, his 3rd.
Oh, boy, you know, in the NBA, underneath the basket, you cannot charge like that. I'm not so sure college basketball shouldn't have that as well.
Well, an interesting trade-off there to begin the half for the Shockers. They get the first 2 points, but Henry Carr now with 3 personal fouls. That could be very important, of course, as things unfold here in the second half. Inside, Bledsoe missed the easy one. The tip, though, good.
Well, he saved himself some embarrassment there. Looked like he wanted to jam it and then lofted it up there, missed it, but came back with the rebound follow.
Bledsoe now with 5 points. Joe Griffin, who did not score in the first half, got it to Steve Greer. Santos.
Wichita State has that shot at the top of the key if they choose to go with it right there. Joe won't. Good pass, though.
Led Greer. Ball alive. Gus Santos able to keep it alive and pull it back out for the Wichita State Shockers. Cross they go to Griffin in the corner. They are daring him to shoot that shot. Inside, Henry was fouled.
And if that's on Bledsoe, it'll be his 3rd. So the opposing centers get their 3rd fouls. Good look at Kosic and Radunovic on the Wichita State bench. And Carr back to the free throw line. Well, for the first time tonight, actually.
It was the 3rd foul on Bledsoe right there. Not much of one.
A very tightly called game, and the way these 2 teams bang at each other, it's going to cost somebody.
Henry Carr at the line. That one was long all the way. Henry comes into the ball game shooting 70% from the free throw line.
WSU now 10 of 16 from the free throw line tonight.
And Henry, a couple of what are becoming rare misses for him. Dobbins saved it, but the Shockers control it. Greer left wing in trouble. Got it out to Joe Griffin. Pounds it inside to Henry Carr, who drew another foul. I think they've got Simmons. 3rd foul, Lance Simmons, as the fouls begin to mount up on the K-State front line where they can least afford it.
Henry, a good strong move to his right. Ball hangs on the rim and foul falls off, but Henry back to the, no, they say before the shot as well. Well, I don't understand that one either. There was a K-State guard, Lynn Smith, hacking away outside, but they gave it to Simmons, seemingly on the shot.
3-point attempt, Joe Griffin. Kind of a rock. Went up there way too strong. Gary Cundiff claimed the rebound easily. Santos airballed it. Greer alive. Got it off the glass. Count the 2. And a foul on the play. And Gus Santos is hurt on the baseline.
He's holding his right ankle. May have twisted it in all that melee down there. The foul went to Simmons, K-State's leading scorer tonight with 4 personal fouls. He'll have to leave. Percy Eddy will come in for him. We'll check on the condition of Gus Santos, who's just now being helped to his feet. That looks, well, he's walking on it pretty good.
Looked like an ankle. And if it's just a twist, it's probably going to be something Gus can play on the rest of tonight. Tomorrow he'll be sore, but I would guess at this point we might see more of Gus before this one's over.
Shocks have some time off here after all kinds of games in the last 2 weeks, so
thank goodness. The Shockers only get Greer, first of all, at the line. Got the free throw.
Matches Wichita State's biggest lead, 35-31.
Steve Greer now with 7 points. To finish that thought, Wichita State playing tonight their 6th game in the last 11 days. They've been busy.
So is K-State.
Persietti the miss. Griffin dished it to Greer, who missed off the glass. Henry Carr forcing it inside, drew another foul. And this is, Ron, this reminds me a little bit of the Southwestern Louisiana game. Henry was in foul trouble in the first half, but really came on and was quite a factor in the second half. We're seeing that early tonight.
K-State right now, as you're seeing where they're missing Mitch Richmond. He's a tremendous athlete, 6'5", 225, can play every place, but on the boards, very effective. Their leading rebounder this season, and Wichita State is just pounding the offensive glass here the early part of the second half, and it's paying dividends. They can build their lead now to the biggest of the night.
Henry Carr now 5 points. The foul, by the way, was on Mark Dobbins, his second. And Henry another miss. Sasha, a nice job to bat it out to Joe Griffin, and the Shockers will reset with 17:30 remaining to play in the game. Thunder, Joe Griffin.
You know, I'm wondering if Cundiff wouldn't move to the top of the key if he wouldn't have that shot. Griffin's not prone to take it. See if Gary might move there. As K-State will adjust. There he has it. Now Dobbins picks him up. They're paying a special attention to Cundiff and letting Griffin have the shot right there if he wants it.
There it is. Three-point attempt off the mark for Gary Cundiff. Dobbins claimed the loose one for the Kansas State Wildcats, who will now try to cut into a 5-point Shocker lead. Will Scott, oh, nice leave for Persietti, who missed it strong, and Steve Greer a defensive rebound. Good trip that time for the Cats, but nothing to show for it. Inside, Radunovic in trouble, kicked it out. Greer right wing, short, followed his shot. Radunovic really working inside, and it's a walk on Radunovic. And Eddie Fogler is about to come out of his shoes.
Well, it could have been worse with the elbows flying. He might have got hit with a technical foul. I'm not so sure he traveled. Eddie Fogler is absolutely sure he didn't. Here's the rebound by Sasha. Now he had the pivot foot down, but I think he might have gotten a little too anxious with those elbows. But that wasn't the call.
Mark Dobbins left wing, in and out. The tip no good. They battle for it, and Henry Carr, oh, look out. Oh, it is really getting physical in there.
I love it. I love it.
Radunovic inside. Got it off the glass. The basket is good, and he was fouled on the play.
Here's Griffin down the lane. Nice pass. No-look pass. Radunovic up strong. Hangs there. The fourth personal foul going against Bledsoe. Eddie Fogler screams out. He's taken off the jacket. He's working so hard. Radunovic with a nice move inside, and Wichita State has built the lead to 7, and this is a great atmosphere for college basketball.
Boy, that was quite an exchange right there between Ron Zetcher and Eddie Fogler. First time this season we've seen the Shocker coach shed the jacket, and he pulled it off in anger and whipped it over the bench, and now he is still working Bill Summers a little bit here on that last call. Ooh, we're talking intensity with a capital I.
This is only December. This isn't the NCAA's yet, is it?
Feels like it, though.
Bill Pee-wee Summers is his nickname. He works a lot of games in the Topeka area, the small college level. He's a busy man during the winter.
Well, meanwhile, back at the ranch, we've got Radunovic at the line. Remember, the basket counted. Completes the three-point play for Sasha Radunovic, now with 12 points.
Interestingly, we've had only 2 standard three-point plays, both by Wichita State, though Wichita State has had a couple of, well, the old three-pointers when you score a field goal and then get fouled. K-State has yet to score on their three-point specialty.
Lon Kruger wants a timeout. This timeout called by Kansas State with 15:58 remaining to play in the ball game. The Shocks making a move. They lead it by 8. Back in a minute here on the Shocker Sports Channel.
If you have a problem concerning your legal rights or obligations and don't seek the advice of an attorney, you are, in essence, taking the law into your own hands. And professional legal counsel needn't be expensive.
If you don't have an attorney you can turn to, call Fletcher and Mathewson, attorneys at law. Through sound research, negotiation, and court representation, they can help you reach an affordable solution to your problem. Fletcher and Mathewson, attorneys at law. On call at 943-1000.
For just $25 down at Advantage Jewelers, you could get the biggest, most beautiful diamond in the store. And financing the balance would still be free and easy. With approved credit, anything in the store is just $25 down. Advantage Jewelers wants to see you in diamonds, no matter how easy they have to make it. Advantage Jewelers, Kellogg and Oliver, and Central and West Street.
Working a spread takes good equipment. You need a good quarter horse. You need a good work truck like this Dodge for 8823. You know they want $5,900 for one of these little toy trucks. But if that's a work truck, I reckon it's a quarter horse. Nobody but nobody undersells Davis Moore Dodge.
The Wichita State Shockers have come out here in the opening 4 minutes, roughly, of the second half, have outscored Kansas State 9-2 to build this 8-point advantage, and they've done a lot of it on the glass.
There it is, 10-2. Wichita State now 26-16 with the edge, and here's this turnover, steal, Wichita State.
Joe Griffin got away with a palm there. Radunovich blocked by Persietti. Boy, is he active. Steve Henson controls it for Kansas State. Took it inside and got it up the glass, Steve Henson. Heck of a move for the freshman, the pride of McPherson, Kansas.
Key bucket for K-State. Wichita State in control there. Not to build it to 10 with the basket. Had a pretty good shot, but it was blocked. Now the lead down to 6. Dwight Pralo in for the first time, number 22 for the Shocks.
We expect to see more of Dwight in the first half, but as Ron mentioned, this is his first action of the ball game. Inside, Henry Carr stripped by Dobbins. Shocks turn it over. Persietti missed it. You know, I wonder if the wrap on the wrist might have affected that. Here he is again inside.
Held and fouled. Radunovich.
On Sasha, that'll be his second.
You might be right, though. I think he just got it too much to the back part of the rim, and it hit the back iron and bounced away. Griffin will sit down, so will Radunovich. Cundiff back in for Wichita State, and Santos, despite that tender ankle, back in. Sasha with his second personal foul.
Shockers trapping on the sideline. Henson, backcourt violation. Shocker ball.
Well, these two coaches are really going at it. This might be a non-conference team between two teams who hadn't played until last year for 15 years, but it's an in-state rival, and it has all the ramifications and intensity right now of an NCAA tournament game.
Shockers and the Wildcats meeting tonight for only the 14th time in the last 80 years. So based on that, as we get the foul on Dobbins, that'll be his third. They continue to pile up for Kansas State. That could be the key to the ball game. Fouls along the K-State front line. Here we go.
Dobbins filling in for Richmond. We mentioned not being able to play because of an injury. Picks up his third foul. He may have gotten away with one when Carr got tangled up in the lane, and he slapped down on the ball and did reject it cleanly.
Another important number. That is already the 6th team foul of the half on Kansas State. The Shockers with only 2. Dwight Pralo finds Santos in the corner. Dwight from 17, a little short. The
nice
tip, Griffo!
Nice tip, Greer. There's another rebound at the offensive end for Wichita State.
Steve Greer put just enough English on that tip to get her to go down. He's got 9 points.
Nice steal.
Santos, the pass ahead to Gary Cundiff. Shocks on the run. Greer in traffic. Missed it. Henry Carr on the offensive glass. Let's see on the basket. No indication yet. No bucket. But a foul on K-State.
Jumper in the lane. Carr's there for the rebound, and evidently they called the foul on Persietti before the shot, but the 12th offensive rebound in the first 6 minutes and 10 seconds of the second half for Wichita State.
And the 4th foul on Persietti. Shockers now in the bonus with 13:50 remaining to play in the game. And Henry Carr hits the front end of the 1-and-1. 6 points for Henry. Again, coming off that career-high 22 points and 13 boards to go with it down at Mississippi State.
2 of 5 from the free throw line for Henry.
Carr now with 7, and the Shocker lead is 10, and they are alive at the roundhouse. 13:45 to go.
Their biggest lead of the night. Well, Scott left open from three-point range.
That'll get you back in the game in a hurry. First three-pointer of the night for Will Scott. Remember, he shoots 70% from that range. 70. Amazing. He's got 5 on the night. Saw a quote from Will Scott. He claims he never looks down to see where he is on the floor. He just lets it go when he's open. Henry Carr, count the 2. The foul is on Ron Meyer, his second.
Great, strong move here by the Wichita senior. Good pass inside. Well, it's a little low, actually. Henry at 6'9", going to the floor to get it. And there's an interesting call. Ron Meyer, there is a rule in college basketball, the verticality rule. You should be able, by raising your hands, still to have that area. And that's a case where Meyer didn't get the call. Carr with a good, strong move now with another three-point opportunity.
Henry Carr, double figures now for the 6th time in 7 games. He's got 10 points. The Shocker lead is again 10 points. 13:10 remaining to play. K-State, will they look now to Will Scott for the three-pointer? We'll see. There he is. With Dwight Quaylo right on him. That's a two-pointer. But Will Scott trying to take over here for K-State. He's got 7.
Now K-State out of their offense then. Wichita State was hounding them with that trap press, but Scott took care of it with a nice baseline jumper to get him back within 8.
Will Scott averages 18 points a game. He is capable of taking over. Got to watch him. Greer, left wing. 11 points, Steve Greer.
Wichita State playing a solid second half. The inside game is there. Now the outside game should open up because of it.
Scott again. Got the roll. They're going to count it. Boy, he is a one-man show right now, and it was fouled on the play.
3 in a row, including a three-pointer. He'll get this one, and we'll have an opportunity for another three-point play.
First foul on Dwight Quaylo. Radunovich back in the game for the Shockers. Henry Carr checks out. This for a breather. Also Joe Griffin back in. He'll go for Dwight Quaylo. But Will Scott will be at the line for Kansas State. We'll also get Dwayne Quaylo in the ball game for the Shockers, replacing Steve Greer. Eddie Fogler wanted to work in some fresh troops, but here's Will Scott. 7 of his 9 points. And it will stay that way. Dobbins, oh, the left-handed reverse nearly went. Nice job by Percy Eddy, working hard inside to keep it alive for the Cats.
Dobbins is a good rebounder. He had 15 in a non-conference game for K-State during the early portion of their schedule.
He's a good, solid young player. Ron Meyer might have walked, no call. Scott again, finally missed one. Oh, the splits for Dwayne Quaylo. He might have pulled a groin.
On the turnover, K-State will get it. Dwayne slow and getting up as well he should be. It's a dangerous spot of the floor. Another look at it. Good, strong effort to get it, but there's that foot sliding away. Ouch. That hurts just to look at it, doesn't it?
Well, I'll tell you, that hurts.
And the janitorial work taken care of. Dwayne will take his place in the lineup, stay in there, but a little sore, I'm sure.
There's no injury in the world that heals as slowly as a groin pull. K-State able to keep it alive. Dobbins short. Meyer, offensive glass, no good. Radunovich had it go right through his hands. Ron Meyer has it again on a fresh 45 for the Kansas State Wildcats. Meyer took it right to the face of the defense, drew the foul on Joe Griffin, only his first.
There's Meyer to his left. trying to work his way inside. Griffin sneaking in from the backside, picks up the foul, which looks like will be a shooting foul, sending Meyer to the free throw line where he made 3 of 4, or 2 of 3 in the first half.
Lance Simmons back in the game for the Wildcats, replacing Persietti. And at the line, Ron Meyer. A bit of a homecoming, of course, for him tonight, looking for his 5th point of the night. 2-time All-Stater in his years at Campus High. Ron comes into the game only a 36% free throw shooter.
4 points in the game last year between the two in Manhattan.
And another miss for Ron Meyer. It'll be Kansas State ball.
Well, K-State's doing a great job at this end, keeping it alive. They haven't been able to score yet, but they've been down here a good minute and a half.
Dobbins just inside. That's only a 2-pointer. But a big hoop. First 2 of the second half for Dobbins. He's got 9 on the night. And the Cats aren't dead by any stretch. Shocker lead is down to 6 with 11:20 remaining to play in the ball game. Griffin across the timeline, dribbled right into a double team. Henson was out of bounds. It'll be Shocker ball. Good call by Paul Castor here right in front of us.
Eddie Fogler talking to his point guard who got himself into a jam and trying to dribble between a couple of defenders. K-State zone again.
Almost looks like a box and one. Because Dobbins is really fronting on Santos. Now we let him go. It's a straight zone. Inside Henry Carr. For Henry Carr, 10 of his 12 points in the second half.
And he did a great job in corralling that pass while running full speed on the baseline and then got a soft shot up there.
Whistle before the shot. The foul is on Santos, only his second.
Only the 5th on Wichita State as a team in the second half, so no free throws coming yet. Here's Gus, as a lot of players are wont to do, moving his hands instead of his feet, got behind and never could get caught up.
Henson open, instead he dished it inside to Lance Simmons. 11 points for Simmons. He averages 14 a game.
Does good job in the paint despite being only 6'5". Frees himself up, falls away, and it's a tough shot to stop.
You mentioned earlier he might be the guy to go when Norris Coleman comes back. Norris Coleman returns January the 10th. The rematch for these two, January the 12th at a Hearn Fieldhouse. So the Shocks will likely have to face Norris Coleman and Mitch Richmond that night. In addition to everybody else, Mark Dobbins, the defensive board for K-State. I'll tell you, give Kansas State a lot of credit playing tonight without Mitch Richmond. That was a big loss, and they have played very tough on the road. This is a good Kansas State ball club. Dobbins three-pointer, a little strong. Santos claimed it for the Shocks.
Eddie wants them to bring it up a little faster, get into their offense quicker, I think.
The Shocker lead is 6. 9:35 to go. Inside, Gus Santos, strong off the glass. Fogler wondering where's the call.
Well, get a lot of congestion there, a lot of hands in the air.
They're letting him play inside, though. It's pretty much been that way throughout the night. The turn, Simmons blocked by Santos. Oh, that's a foul on Gus. That's his 3rd.
I think it's been inconsistently called, Mark. You get a call at the other end, a non-call, and now Gus comes up with, well, might have got him with the hand there. But as far as contact, sometimes yes, sometimes no. And Simmons will go to the free throw line as Gus picks up his 3rd personal foul, as you see there.
At the line, Lance Simmons, the 6'5" sophomore out of St. Louis, Missouri, looking for his 12th point of the night. A good free throw shooter, statistically, 84% coming in. Ron mentioned the Shockers will take some time off after this game. They'll have no games for the next 8 days as they break for final exams. That's a foul on Will Scott, his 3rd. So now we'll walk it down to the other end. Wichita State, of course, in the bonus. They went into the bonus with 13:50 to go.
Here's the shot that won't drop, and then Gus fighting for it over his back as Will Scott. Here's the foul situation. Simmons playing with 4. Dobbins playing with 3. Scott now has 3. Bledsoe's on the K-State bench with 4. Percy Eddy's there with 4. There's Eddie Fogler. As far as his club, Santos with 3. Carr with 3. And Tom Kosic has 3.
One of the bonus, Gus Santos. That's now 8 points for Gus.
And they spotted something on the floor. The K-State, the Wichita State staff has a piece of paper, string, something picked up by the official.
In the second half, as Gus Santos stands up there, Wichita State is now 7 of 11 from the free throw line in the second half. K-State only 1 of 5. And the Shocks now 8 of 12. That's been a big difference in the second half.
Wichita State 10 of 15 had more opportunities in the opening half.
This time out with 9:14 remaining to play. Wichita State leads it by 7. Keep it right here on the Shocker Sports Channel.
People who care, sharing and lending a hand, from city to country and all through the land. Proud of who we are, proud of what we've seen, proud to keep America clean.
This tribute is for everyone who helps keep America clean. From the waste professionals at BFI.
We're proud to keep America clean.
Wild Bausch Tires in Wichita has been in business for over 40 years for a reason, and that reason is trust.
I trust Wheel Bosch.
That's Wild Bausch. Ask any of our customers. They'll tell you why they trust Wild Bausch.
I trust Wire Brush.
Because we treat our customers right, and we carry Goodyear, Michelin, and other top brands and tires.
I trust Willie Bush.
That's Wild Bausch Tires, 40 years of trust in Wichita.
At Quality Chevrolet, someone trades and saves every 39 minutes. And talk about trucks, Quality Chevrolet is your 4x4 headquarters, featuring the tough new S10s and S10 Blazers. When it comes to service, Quality Chevrolet's service department is second to none. They offer quality GM parts and Mr. Good Wrench service to keep your Chevrolet all GM. For a new Chevrolet car or truck and the best service after the sale, remember Quality Chevrolet, 1520 East Douglas, where someone trades and saves every 39 minutes.
Back at Levitt Arena, 9:14 remaining to play in this one. The Shocker lead is 7 over the visiting K-State Wildcats, and they are piling up for the visitors from Manhattan.
Bledsoe, Percy Eddy, Simmons all 1 foul away from evacuation. Dobbins and Scott have to be careful themselves with 3 apiece for K-State.
As far as Wichita State, Santos has 3, Henry Carr has 3, and Kosic has 3, and that's about it. Everybody else is pretty free and clear. Another quick score to pass along. The Wichita State women's team defeated Colorado State last night in double overtime at Fort Collins, 74-73. The Wichita State women 5-1 now on the season. That's their best start since the 82-83 season. Our congratulations to them, and they'll play a good rival, KU, Saturday, December the 20th, 2 o'clock in the afternoon here at Levitt Arena.
Trap press, but it's broken. Bledsoe's back in there, and so is Eddy.
There's the pass inside to Bledsoe, and he got it strong off the glass. 7 for Charles Bledsoe.
Lead down to 5. The Shockers had it to 10 at the 13:50 mark. Played 5 minutes since then, and Wichita State's lead has been cut in half. That's a very active zone defense the Shockers are taking on.
Steve Greer thought about it. Bounce pass inside to Gus, the right-handed hook. A little short. Bledsoe the rebound, and an opportunity now for K-State to cut it to at least 3. Maybe 2. Oh, they left the lane wide open for Henson. Oh, the Shockers got a break there.
Oh, 2 of them. The tip should have gone too. It hung on the rim.
And that's a blocking foul on Henson. He tried to get there, didn't quite have position. Second foul on Steve Henson, but a heady play for this young man.
Henson has to be set, and I don't really believe he was. And back to the Shocker free throw line will go Joe Griffin stepping up there. Joe has not scored tonight. Scoring is not his forte, but when they give him that outside shot, I think Valley play eventually, he's got to prove to somebody they can knock that shot down, or they're going to just gang up in the middle.
Saw a look at Joe's percentages on the season. Came in averaging just a shade over 6 points a game, in and out. And a foul on Henry Carr over the back. That'll be 4 on Henry. He becomes the first Shocker to collect his 4th foul. Stopping the clock with 8:02 remaining in the game, and we'll get Radunovic back in now for Henry, no doubt.
Both teams for the 1-and-1 from here on in. It'll be Persietti to shoot this 1-and-1 for K-State.
Ron mentioned Persietti seeing only his second action of the season, coming off that broken wrist of his, and it's on his shooting hand. And a big miss there. Shocker ball. The lead continues to be 52-47. K-State very active still defensively. I'll tell you, anybody who figured K-State would be easy to handle until Norris Coleman returns is in for a big surprise. Lon Kruger's got a good ball club.
Coached him well. Really got him playing well.
Rare inside, missed it. Dobbins effective inside, gets the rebound.
Shockers have gotten it in the paint deep 3 consecutive times. Twice to Santos, once to Grayer, and nothing to show for it. Got to hit those shots.
Bledsoe, meanwhile, short on his end. Grayer, the defensive rebound. Will Scott nearly anticipated that pass beautifully. Griffin, an open Santos from 16. He popped it. 11 for Gus.
And the 4th Shocker to get in double figures. Grayer, Santos, Carr, and Radunovic.
Good balance again tonight for the Shockers. 2 players with 12, 2 players with 11. They've really spread the wealth. Henson on the drive. Lost the ball out of bounds, and they rule he was fouled.
2 shots will be coming to the first freshman. He beats Griffin down the lane here. Joe not getting much help defensively. It'll be his 2nd foul, but 2 throws coming to Henson, who is an excellent free thrower.
Came into the game touting a 95% accuracy rate from the free throw line as we get Gary Cundiff back in the ball game, replacing Joe Griffin. He plays a lot of minutes. Eddie Fogler tries to rest him when he can. You know, Steve Henson, when he was a senior at McPherson High, was heavily recruited by Wichita State and actually for a time considered coming here, but eventually, of course, decided to go play up for Jack Hartman at the time. Now Lon Kruger.
Simmons back in, number 34. Henson was also being courted by KU during his junior season. Had McPherson into the state tournament, favored to win it all, got knocked off in the semifinals.
Henson, not surprisingly, got them both. That has the Shocker lead back down to 5. 6:30 remaining to play. And it's been just like the good old days tonight at Levitt Arena. Fun at the old Roundhouse.
You got Cundiff at the top of the key if they want him.
There's Gary, 3-point attempt. And long, it'll pop back out. And Gary Cundiff snuck around Bledsoe to keep it alive. Ball loose on the floor. They dive, and they tie it up. And this time the arrow is pointing Kansas State's way.
You know, when K-State first went to that 3-2 zone with the big guy out in front is when KU had Darnell Valentine, and they cut KU's knifing game completely away. They choked off Valentine out there with that zone defense. And Jack Hartman, when he lost the recruiting battle, knew he had to do something with that KU standout from Wichita Heights, and he got it done. Darnell simply couldn't attack that thing with that much pressure out front. Radunovic.
Well, that's a shove on Sasha. That'll be his 3rd foul. I haven't had time too much tonight to talk about the coaching matchup, but I think it's an interesting aspect of this game. Eddie Fogler, of course, came up under one of the greats, Dean Smith, and the same could be said for that man, Lon Kruger, as he learned at the elbow of Jack Hartman for so many years, both as a player and an assistant coach.
Both backliners, though, in fairness, Kruger was the better collegian, two-time Big 8 player of the year.
Bledsoe now with 8 points.
Both give their former mentors full credit for most of the basketball they've learned.
Of course, Lon spent the last 4 years as the head coach at Pan American, turning that program around to earn the shot at Kansas State. Oh, they ruled the ball out of bounds to K-State. So this could really be a big trip for them.
You know, Wichita State early had all the jump balls and the rebounds at their offensive end. Now here's Scott.
Three-point attempt. Look out. Will Scott now with 12 points, and the Cats are back within 1.
To continue the point, now it's K-State that's getting everything at their offensive end, either rebounds or deflections or turnovers.
Well, that shocker 10-point lead is now all but disappeared as we get the blocking foul on Henson. That'll be his third. Henry Carr and Joe Griffin. Eddie Fogler getting a couple of front-liners back in the ball game.
This could turn out to be a free throw contest. Certainly from Wichita State's standpoint, it's mightily important because they had troubles there last season, squandering a lot of games because of it. But with Kansas State's aggressive zone defense, Wichita State should get a lot of opportunities at the line. They're going to have to cash in.
Eddie Fogler, that jacket has been off since midway through the first half. Greer wanted the bonus. Oh, airballed it. My goodness, Steve wiping the hands on the floor.
I think Wichita State as a team looks tight right now. They had the big 10-point lead. It's down to 4. K-State's playing free and easy, getting most of the stuff down at their offensive end in some fashion. And in a way, K-State has it going their way right now.
I have to agree completely. Shockers go for the double team. Simmons found an open Bledsoe left wing. He kicked it out. Henson nearly stolen by Griffin. Ball still loose on the floor. Still loose. Claimed by Bledsoe. He took it left baseline. Short. Ball out of bounds to Kansas State.
See what I mean? Ball loose on the floor. It's Wichita's ball. If they can tie it up, they can't get it. Kicked around. K-State misses a shot, but it's knocked out of bounds, and it still belongs to Kansas State. They're much more aggressive. They're getting to the ball, and frankly, they're getting some luck, too. That always helps. But they're more active, aren't they, Mark? Don't you see that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dobbins forced that one a bit and hit it. Oh, what a big hoop for Mark Dobbins. Just a two-pointer, but with a hand in his face, he's got K-State back on top. 55-54, just inside 5 minutes to play now in the ball game. Oh, baby, hang on to your hat.
I think that's 8 in a row for K-State now. I'll check that. I guess 8 and 1 for Wichita State down the stretch.
Greer, foul. It's on Will Scott. That's 4 on Scott. Now, he needs to be careful because he would be one of the men K-State would look for down the stretch.
Well, Will went for the steal, couldn't get it. And Steve Greer, who threw up an air ball his last trip to the line, back up there for a 1-and-1.
So let's see if Steve can shake it off. The Kansas State faithful, and there are many in attendance here tonight, by the way, serenading Steve, reminding him of his last free throw attempt. Let's see how the young guy handles it. A little strong that time, and Steve drifted off the line as he let that one go. He's not shooting the free throws right now with a great degree of confidence. Kansas State basketball, they'll try to build on their 1-point lead. Simmons, herky-jerky, and he got it.
No, they're wiping it off.
Oh, an offensive foul on Lance Simmons, and that's 5 on him. He's gone with 4:28 to go.
Let's see if he gets the arm out here. Well, it's not the arm, but he does slam in to the shocker. That's a big, big call.
Oh, that's a huge call.
Simmons will leave with 13 points. Wichita State trails by only 1 as they'll bring it up. We've still got 4:28 to go, but this would be a monumental road win for Kansas State.
It's an official timeout. We'll take it. 4:28 remaining to play in the game. K-State leads it 55-54. They haven't had Mitch Richmond all night. They just lost Lance Simmons. We'll see if the Shocks can take advantage right after this.
Looking for an exciting future? Look to Professional Beauty College. Professional Beauty College, with its excellent facilities and knowledgeable staff, will provide you with a quality education leading to a profession as a licensed cosmetologist, with training in over 20 areas, such as hair cutting and shaping, makeup, hair coloring, and manicuring. Classes start January 20th, and tuition is only $2,500. Call 683-8791 and ask about our financial aid program, student loans, and payment plans. GMC. 3 letters that stand for pride, quality, and integrity. Sutter LeGris, your longtime exclusive GMC dealer, offers professional sales assistance, large inventory, factory-certified mechanics, and genuine Mr. Goodwrench GM parts. At Sutter LeGris, we stand behind Mr. Goodwrench all the way. No one knows your GM truck better. No one. Sutter LeGris, 4150 West Kellogg in Wichita.
Ho, ho! I'm here to announce the biggest gift any Kansas guitar bass player ever received. The guitar stand at Harry and Rock Road in Wichita is open just in time for Christmas with everything at grand opening sale prices. At the guitar stand, they'll help you select the right guitar, teach you how to play, and even repair it when it's broken. It's brand new. And for you, the bass or guitar player, the guitar stand, Harry and Rock Road, 687-3349.
Welcome back once again to Levitt Arena. That's our situation. 4:28 remaining to play in the second half. Kansas State has made the move here to negate, totally wipe away a 10-point Shocker lead. K-State leads it now by a point. Wichita State fading from the field a bit. K-State doing a better job.
Well, neither team shooting well. Neither team doing well either at the free throw line or from the field. K-State 11 of 21 at the line. That's only 52%. That's not winning basketball. The Shockers 18 of 29. That's 62%. And turnovers, Wichita State 14, Kansas State 12. Each team has 34 rebounds. That's a difference of, in Wichita State's game because they should win the battle of the boards.
Kansas State comes out of the timeout in the zone, the 3-2 zone. We'll see how the Shockers handle it. Wichita State looking to regain the lead with a hoop here. Dobbins knocked it away from Steve Grayer, who regained it. Wichita State with a momentary advantage. Cundiff, left wing, back to Steve Grayer. Griffin really hasn't looked to shoot tonight. There he is from three-point range. A little off. And that'll be, a foul on Henry Carr. That's 5 on Henry. He's gone with 3:50 to go.
Now that's a big loss for Wichita State, leaving with 12 points. He had 10 of them in the second half. Sasha Radunovic will have to check back in for him. And back to the K-State free throw line will go, where K-State has missed 10 of their 21 opportunities. It'll be Charles Bledsoe stepping up there. He's been good on 2 of 4 unofficially.
Sasha Radunovic is the choice. There you see him to come back into the ball game, replacing Henry Carr, who is fouled out of the game. That's going to be Bledsoe at the line. 8 points tonight so far for the 6'7 junior out of St. Louis, Missouri. Played his junior college ball at Moberly, Missouri, with Mitch Richmond, by the way.
And another player who's now at Missouri, Ingram, an outstanding player. Maybe the best of, well, Richmond is the All-American, but Ingram isn't bad.
Bledsoe was also a St. Louis High School Player of the Year, but a big miss on the front end of the free throw there for him. So now the Shockers again with that opportunity. K-State leads it 55-54, 3:30 to go.
Wichita State having more and more difficulty finding the middle of that K-State zone.
Well, K-State, they're back in the game. They're playing with a lot more confidence now defensively. That's making it tough on the Shocks. Radunovic, ball faking, gave it up. Kind of wonder now who is going to take the shots for Wichita State. Well, it's going to be Joe Griffin, and that's 3, his first 3 of the night. Wichita State back in front, 57-55, 3 minutes to go.
I think Joe just has to take that shot. He's got to make the defense play him. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to K-State right in front of Lon Kruger and his staff.
And a sub, Dwight Prelo, back in the ball game for the Shockers. Steve Grayer checking out. Again, with this lineup for Wichita State, I would tend to look for, I think, Cundiff or Santos as the most likely guys to take a shot. And, of course, for the Cats, you know who. Will Scott. What a second half. 12 of his 14 points since the intermission. We're even at 57. The next 2:40 will decide it. What a game. Oh, and a foul on Dobbins. 4th on him. K-State walking that fine line now between being aggressive and maybe over-aggressive.
Well, they put the 2-time on Prelo, Henson, and Dobbins there. I think they could have given it to either. Prelo has not taken a free throw yet tonight. For the season, he's 0 for 2. I'm sorry, he's 7 for 9.
Right, Dwight Prelo, 78%. As he stands up there, the sophomore out of Columbia, South Carolina, off the backboard. Oh,
I think he missed it so far he made it. I see some tenseness here and some really lack of poise. Of course, we're early in the season, a lot of new players. That was more like it.
A couple of big ones there for Dwight Prelo. Well, the Shockers have let Kansas State back into this one. Now they've got to handle it. 2:25 to go. The Shocker lead is 59-57.
Big trip. They'll all be big from here on in.
Timeout, Kansas State. Lon Kruger calling this timeout. We'll keep it right here. 2:19 remaining to play in the ball game. The Shocker lead is 2, 59-57. Tom Kosic will be checking back into the Wichita State lineup. Interesting substitution.
Kosic played pretty well in the first half, though he did pick up 3 first-half fouls. This may be a defensive switch. With you might see Kosic leaving the first time Wichita State has a dead ball with the ball at the offensive end. K-State played a real tough one, a close one in Lubbock, and won that one at the end when Lynn Smith had a couple of free throws with less than 15 seconds to go, and Texas Tech missed at the buzzer. They had a good shot, but it wouldn't fall off. That's the only road test thus far for Kansas State.
Well, and for Wichita State, the only time they've really gone to the wire, Fordham. We know about that one.
I don't think I'll forget that one for a while. We replayed some of that for our Topeka audience, and 8-point lead in 5 seconds almost vanished entirely.
I got a call earlier this week from Joe Pagnotta, the Fordham Sports Information Director, asking for a copy of the tape because he got a call from CBS. They plan, I guess, to use some of that. Hopefully they got the tape. We sent it off to him.
To Eddie Fogler's credit, on his post-game radio show, he made not one mention of it. I know the natural inclination, human nature, would be to scream bloody murder. He did want the officials to come take a look at it, but as you've detailed ad nauseum here, new rule, you can take a look at instant replay for timing problems, what have you, but not of a nature of a ball going into the buzzer or anything. But still, Eddie didn't mention it once. He did mention they lost the game in the second half and they failed to protect their lead, which could be the case again here tonight. 10-point lead, and K-State scrapped back in it. The Shocks have 4 timeouts remaining. Kansas State has 2 with 2:19 to go. That wouldn't seem to be a factor yet.
But with 2:19 to go, it could well be before this one's over. Both teams back out on the floor. It'll be Kansas State ball.
This K-State team is going to cause troubles in the Big
Dobbins
Eight.
is wide open here on the left wing. There he is. Now the Shockers zoning out of the timeout on the inbounds. K-State inbounding under their own basket, so 2-3 zone for the Shocks. 2:05 to go. Wichita State leads it 59-57.
10 on the shot clock.
Nice pass to Will Scott. Found an open Dobbins who...
That's got to be a charge.
And it is. Offensive foul. Joe Griffin, a great job to position himself. That's 5 on Dobbins. He was to the bench pretty quickly. He knew he was gone.
Here's the end of the 45-second shot clock, which draws a charge, but that was a great defensive sequence by Wichita State. They hung with their men, played it to the final end, and forced K-State into a tough situation with 7 seconds to go. They had to do something and ended up with a charge. And now Wichita State, with less than 2 minutes to go, will try to protect or build this 2-point lead. I love it. This is a dandy, Mark. This is college basketball. Two interstate rivals going head-to-head. KU will come in here January 6th, and they need to keep these rivalries going. Neither KU or K-State have played Wichita State often enough. The basketball is good enough. It does nothing but good for the state.
Lon Kruger taking the full time allotted before finally deciding on Ron Meyer as the choice to replace the departed Mark Dobbins. That is now the game clock, by the way, for you in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, so you'll be able to count it down at home. Shocker ball. They try to build on their 59-57 advantage.
This is going to be a good game for both these teams as they head to conference play later on.
And again, there will be a rematch at Ahern Fieldhouse. Kosic flashing to the basket, was fouled. Nice pass, though, by Gus Santos to find him open. Fourth foul on Henson.
Well, Kosic will have his first opportunity tonight from the free throw line, and for the season, he's been good on 3 of 4.
Tom got off to a quick start. He scored a total of 15 points in the first 3 games, but has not scored in the last 3 games. So an opportunity here for him. 2 shots. A ruling foul in the act of shooting. Tom, a 75% free throw shooter coming in. And a miss. The junior out of Calumet City, Illinois. A 3-sport athlete in high school. Basketball, baseball, and golf.
Sat out last year with a back injury with him.
Tom staring at basketball's version of the three-foot putt right here, the free throw. Got the second one. First point of the night for Kosic. The Shocker lead is 3, but with the new 3-point shot, that doesn't become as important as it used to be. Will Scott, heck of a flash to the basket and a foul on the play. Oh, they're going to call goaltending, and they give him the basket. The basket is good for Will Scott.
That will get Kansas State within 1. Here's the foul. The ball slapped up against the glass, results in the goaltending.
Fourth foul on Gus Santos. So credit the basket to Will Scott. That'll give him 16 points. And if he makes this free throw, we're tied again. Well, that was a big call.
Right, and Wichita State was playing Scott out on the floor, fearing the 3-point play from that area. Now he can make it the standard 3-point play by sinking the free throw. K-State played it well. That was a nice drop-off pass from Steve Henson. K-State is pretty solid. They're going to make some waves in the Big 8 Conference. Get Coleman in there. Mitch Richmond back.
Will Scott, 17 points. We're tied again. 1:25 to go. Eddie Fogler wants a timeout if he can get one. Nobody sees him. He continues to call for the timeout. Now, finally, somebody saw him. It'll be timeout Shockers. And again, we'll keep it right here at courtside. The timeout coming with 1:16 remaining to play in the ball game. All even at 60. And Shocker basketball when we return to action. Good point, though, you made earlier. I think when Kansas State, their last trip down the floor, Will Scott, one of the key guys you want to keep an eye on, and everybody knows about Will Scott from 3-point range, and I think Lon Kruger and Will Scott and the rest of the K-State staff caught the Shockers, I think, leaning a bit toward 3-point range, and Scott caught him backdoor, and that really turned into the big play of the game so far. It's got K-State right back in it.
Sasha Radunovich will come back into it when we return. If anybody can teach guard play, it would be Lon Kruger, who was just a standout. Little guy at Silver Lake, played for a small school there. He was a standout, but nobody could measure the size of his heart. He was Jack Hartman's first recruit. Freshmen weren't eligible his first year. Hartman had his first and only losing season at K-State prior to the last few years when things got away from him. But if Kruger would have been eligible as a freshman, they wouldn't have been less than 500. KU had that great team that went 27-3 into the Final Four with Robish and company. But Kruger was ready to play as a freshman, and along with a couple of other freshmen stepped to the varsity the next season. K-State won a couple of Big 8 championships and went to the Midwest Regionals on a couple of occasions as an assistant coach. He was on Jack Hartman's staff that also went to the NCAA 3 times in 5 years.
And, of course, you know about Eddie Fogler, 6 trips to the Final Four as a player and an assistant coach. So there's again the foul trouble for Kansas State.
Already 2 have fouled out.
Oh, and Henson nearly picked one up there. Wow. No call, though. Shocker ball, 1:10 to go. We're tied at 60. Let's see what the Shocks go for. They've spread the middle a bit. White Prelo double teamed, in trouble, got it to Griffin.
15 seconds on the shot clock. 10 seconds now.
K-State really overplaying the passing lanes. Griffin from 15, missed it. Radunovic had to go right through his hands. Ball loose on the floor.
It's Wichita State's ball on the rotation.
The alternate possession will give it to Wichita State with 40 seconds remaining to play. I guess I should say now in regulation.
Yeah, the shot clock will start all over, and Wichita State, if they play this right, should have no worse than another overtime game to play here.
Now the shot clock is off as we are inside 45 seconds on the game clock. So the game clock becomes the shot clock.
Well, as Wichita State do, Fordham beat them last week with late second heroics. Maybe it's the Shockers' turn.
Well, now a taste of that North Carolina background. A little bit of 4 corners here for the Shockers as they appear to be working it down for the final shot. There's a page right out of Dean Smith's book.
They should call a timeout here in a few seconds.
Right at about 10, I would imagine. Oh, they're going to go for it. Dwight Prelo, the drive, he got it! He hit it!
And he's fouled.
And he was fouled on the play, oh baby!
It's not over yet. 2 seconds to play. There are still 2 seconds left. However, Wichita State took a big move towards their 5th win with this nice move by Prelo down the baseline. Fouled by Bledsoe. We have a timeout.
We'll keep it right here. You know what immediately comes to mind? Remember back at the end of regulation against Fordham, Dwight Prelo missed a wide-open 6 to 7 foot baseline jumper that would have won that game.
Much easier shot than he just nailed here, and that's going to do a lot for his confidence. Sophomore played pretty well last year when he got his spot, but a nice move down that baseline to give Wichita State a 2-point lead. Now the 3-point free throw here, he might, in some ways, be better off missing.
Well, if he makes it, of course, Kansas State gets the ball with 2 seconds to go. They have timeouts remaining, so they could maybe set something up, probably to Will Scott. Remember, we've got the new 3-point shot, so that changes things. If he misses this free throw, and K-State, of course, 2 seconds isn't much time to get the ball down the floor and get the shot off, and then a 3-pointer beats you. So I think maybe you go for the free throw and let K-State take their chance.
Yeah, prior to this year, I think you might consider missing this free throw, but not now with this 3-point business. And Will Scott, 17 points, 15 in the second half. Though only one of those had been from that long 3-point area. He had another 3-point play. In fact, his last basket and free throw, which tied the game at 60 with 1:20 to go, was his other 3-point play. Both these teams have work to do on their shooting, but I think the defense had a good deal to do with some poor shots. The shot selection sometimes wasn't as good as either coach would like, but they've really scrapped at each other. K-State playing shorthanded here, fighting back, and Wichita State with some of last season's problems in the clutch should be gaining some confidence, and the Eddie Fogler look has given them some help down the stretch here, too.
I think KU will continue to grab most of the headlines nationally, but you've got a couple of programs at Kansas State and Wichita State that are on the move. College basketball back to what it should be in the state of Kansas. It's been a good one here tonight. It's not over yet. Dwight Prelo will be at the free throw line with 1 free throw, trying to complete the 3-point play, the old-fashioned 3-point play, if you will.
And the other Shocker players are out of that free throw line area. They, of course, don't want to commit a foul here.
Will Scott is on the floor for K-State, so keep an eye on him. Henson's also out there. Prelo got it. That'll give him 5 points. The K-State Wildcats have 2 seconds. Now they go for the timeout. They get it.
No clock ran either. There's still 2 seconds up there.
And Eddie Fogler is over here questioning why no time went off the clock.
Well, take another look at it. A second has to run off that clock. The ball was touched. There are still 2 seconds left. The pass is made. Still no time ran off the clock. That's a big break for K-State. We saw what could happen a week ago here with a second to go. Now K-State has 2. They still have some 60 feet to negotiate.
Well, the Wichita State coaching staff, now Mike Cohen is down there questioning the official timer, finding out why no time went off the clock. Now, if he made a quick on-off move with the switch, you know, you're not always going to get a full second
You're
go
dealing
by.
with tenths of seconds,
Right.
really. But theoretically, when the ball is passed in and touched, a second has to go off the clock. A week ago tonight, it may have been that very ruling that cost Wichita State another overtime period with Fordham when Gus Santos hit a bucket at the buzzer after catching the pass with 1 second to go, and it was disallowed.
What it does is it buys Kansas State about 40 to 45 feet. Instead of trying to deal with 94 feet, now they're dealing with only about 50 feet as they will be inbounding from nearly midcourt. And of course, that really increases your options. It's got to be Will Scott. I think they're going to run him off with some kind of screen or double screen and get him the ball. I mean, it almost has to be Will Scott.
2 of 7 in that area. Scott with 1 of them. One of those 2 field goals.
A couple of nights ago against Abilene Christian, Will Scott hit 6 of 9 three-pointers.
Boy, you got to be real careful here if you're a Wichita State player, too. A foul quick might be, in some ways, the best thing you could do if you're out of position.
Ron Meyer, also a key man. He'll be inbounding for Kansas State. Kosic at 6'10" in his face. It's Persietti. He got it away. It's short. It's over.
He wanted a foul, too. Gus Santos was there with a hand in the face. A colossal basketball game here in December between 2 intrastate rivals, and Wichita State ends up nailing it 63-60 on Dwight Prelo heroics.
And as Lon Kruger and Eddie Fogler met at half court, I could read Lon Kruger's lips. First thing he said was good ball game, and I couldn't agree more. The Shocks win it by 3. Back to wrap it up after this on the Shocker Sports Channel.
Nothing makes your day like helping others make it on their own.
You bring out the pride we all feel inside.
It's going to be easy next week.
It's more than just the job you do. You make America work, and this fund's for you.
Good work.
Here's to you, Beechwood Aged, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This fund's for you.
Where else can you get a new 1987 loaded Chevrolet Caprice for just $270 a month? A new 87 Cavalier for $170 a month. And 1987 full-size Chevy pickups with air from $205 a month. Even S10 pickups from $175 a month. Sound incredible? No. It's happening right now at Don Hatton Chevrolet. We make it easy with our new leasing program on over 70 new 87 cars and trucks, plus a free ski trip to Silver Creek, Colorado for the first 20 leases. See us now for the payments you want at Don Hatton Chevrolet.
Ho, ho, ho! I'm here to announce the biggest gift any Kansas guitar bass player ever received. The guitar stand at Harry and Rock Road in Wichita is open just in time for Christmas with everything at grand opening sale prices. At the guitar stand, they'll help you select the right guitar, teach you how to play, and even repair it when it's broken. It's brand new, and for you, the bass or guitar player, the guitar stand, Harry and Rock Road, 687-3349.
One, but not just any fur. A fur coat or jacket from Grag Furs. A fur that will show her how much you love her. A fur that will thrill her like no other gift. This year, say Merry Christmas, darling, with a gift she's always wanted and deserved. A fabulous fur from Grag Furs.
The Wichita State Shockers go to 5-2 on the season with the 63-60 victory tonight over cross-state rival Kansas State. K-State losing for only the first time this season. They fall to 6-1, but quite a ball game. We got to keep this thing going, Ron.
Oh, I hope so. Dwight Prelo ended up with the hero's mantle. He scored Wichita State's last 3 points to win it, and 5 of their last 6, including a nice free throw that really sewed it up. And Wichita State played good, solid defense on the final effort by Kansas State to nail down their 5th victory of the season. It came hard, but again, both teams will benefit from playing a game against each other of this ilk.
Again, Dwight Prelo, normally one of the first players off Eddie Fogler's bench, did not play at all in the first half, but came on in the second half Here it was with time winding down in regulation. He took the baseline drive, got the layup, also hit the free throw to put Wichita State up by 3. Then it was Kansas State ball. They called the quick timeout when the second did not tick off the clock as the Shocker coaches felt it should have. So K-State had 2 seconds to deal with. They got the ball inbounds. We were looking for Will Scott, but it ended up being Percy Eddy.
And the shot way short, and Wichita State comes away with the 63-60 victory. Will Scott for K-State had 1 second half, 17 points, and his three-point play with 1:20 to go tied this game at 60. Wichita State appeared to be on their way to a seemingly easy victory, 43-33 at one time. K-State was running out of players. They were missing 2. Norris, we've well documented. Also Mitch Richmond out. They had 3 players foul out. They were missing 5 at one time. I think they only suited up 11. So it was a gallant effort by K-State. Their unbeaten string is over. They knew they weren't going to win them all. Wichita State with the key victory here to keep things going, and now some time to rest and get ready for further non-conference play before opening up Valley action.
Quite a ball game tonight before a sellout crowd at Levitt Arena. Hope you enjoyed it as well. We'll take one more timeout. We're coming back to check the final stats. We'll also preview the coming action. So keep it right here on the Shocker Sports Channel.
It's the new white one.
Yes, sir. You can't miss it. Oh, sorry, this one's mine.
I knew it. No, I believe
A luxury car isn't a luxury car if it looks like something else.
Uh-oh, not mine.
Lincoln Town Car, sir.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a Lincoln Town Car. Its luxury is unmistakable. It stands alone in styling and prestige. This year, as always, the Town Car is distinctively Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
You wouldn't listen.
Strength, pride, tradition. For centuries, the Clydesdale has been known as a special breed. Today, the Clydesdales symbolize Budweiser's dedication to quality, superior ingredients, exclusive beechwood aging, and a distinctively clean, crisp taste that only Budweiser can offer. Quality taste. Because this Bud's for you.
Back again at Levitt Arena, where the Wichita State Shockers have won the first of 2 meetings this season with Kansas State, 63-60. Once again, our final tonight, Wichita State's winning margin, the 3-point play by Dwight Pralo down the stretch, and now some final stats to take a look at. Unofficially, the field goal numbers, I'm sure, will not be all that impressive, and they're not.
Neither team shot particularly well. I'll give credit to both teams' defense. K-State zone, Wichita State's trap man-to-man for keeping the shooter percentages as low as they are, but there's no defense at the free throw line, and neither team cashed in well from there, though Wichita State made a couple when they had to. Certainly the end of that 3-point play by Pralo, and a couple of free throws prior to that down the stretch helped Wichita State as well. A big battle on the rebounds where Wichita State should have won it by more than that. When Coleman and Richmond are back for K-State, Wichita State's going to have some problems there. Turnovers relatively even, and the shooting not very good, but both teams played solid defense.
Interesting, though, on paper before this game, it seemed so obvious at the time that it was going to be a battle of Wichita State's front line and Kansas State's back court. And we'll take a further look at some of the individual scoring in the game, first of all. If we're ready with those, first of all, should be for the visitors from Kansas State.
Scott ended up with honors with 17 points. Simmons finished with 12. He also fouled out. So did Mark Dobbins, who had, I have Dobbins with 11. That may be accurate, though, given the way I keep score here. At any rate, it looks like 3 K-Staters in double figures. Scott ended up with high honors for the Wildcats, though he only had 2 at halftime, came back with the big second half. Wichita State had good balance scoring. They had 4 players in double figures, and there's where the front line business comes into play. Grayer 11, Santos 11, Carr with 12, and Sasha with 12. But the biggest 5 points of this game came from Dwight Pralo, the winning 3 with 2 seconds left.
Okay, the Shockers will take the next 8 days off. Then they hit the road to play Minnesota. Then they head to Hawaii for the Hawaii Loa Classic. So consequently, our next action for you here on the Shocker Sports Channel will not be until December the 30th, when Wichita State will take on the Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona from up Flagstaff way. A non-conference ball game. We'll see you on the 30th of December with that one. But until then, for Ron Paradis, Bill Manus, a good job on the stats, and a nice job as always by Shelley Smith and everybody on the crew. Mark Allen saying good night from Levitt Arena, where the Shockers have defeated the Wildcats 63-60. We'll see you next time.